following is a presentation of CBC Sports.
In the Old West, gunslingers didn't turn the other cheek. They thrust out their chins defiantly, like that guy Eastwood in Hollywood. 2 nights ago, when Doug Gilmour was hobbled and a guy named Eastwood was conscripted for the power play, it was just like the Old West. His goal has put Toronto in the catbird seat in this series. It's a 4-bullet job. The Leafs have landed 3. In Game 2 of the affair, the Hawks were ready, but Todd Gill was too. And in Game 1, Wendell Clark kicked off an 8-minute ambush. For Toronto, 3 victories down, 1 to go. But back in Chicago, the Hawks are still breathing. In Game 3, it was merely target practice for Tony Amonte. The following night, Gary Suter must have borrowed his pistol, and Jeremy Roenick was a sniper in OT. The Hawks clearly have the heart for this thing. The question is, do they have the ammunition? Do the Toronto Maple Leafs have Doug Gilmour tonight? And how long is this movie? Questions abound. Is this the last game to be played at the lovely lady they call the Madhouse on Madison? Chicago Stadium is sold out naturally for Game 6. The Hawks, before the roar, have played the Leafs tough in the last 5 years. 16-2 Chicago versus Toronto in this building. And when you go back to last year's playoffs, Toronto won Game 5 in each of their 3 series, but could never win Game 6. And it cost them dearly not getting that rest when they went up against Los Angeles in late May. Good evening. Welcome to Molson Hockey Night in Canada, the Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC into the Organ Loft. I'm Ron McLean. Before we get to the Gilmour question, I want to show you some fellas from Kingston, Ontario, Section 5, Aisle 18. They've paid 5 of them to come down. There they are. You can see the Don Cherry's restaurant t-shirt on the one chap. Geez, that makes me sick. Cherry's boys came, 5 guys from Kingston, and they said, where's Cherry and where's Gilmour? Don's downstairs. He'll be along, of course, in the coach's corner. And Doug Gilmour will start at center for the Leafs. Darby Hendrickson will also play his first NHL game for Toronto tonight. More on that in just a moment. Here's the reception for Eddie Belfour and company. Doug Gilmour on a line tonight with Darby Hendrickson from the University of Minnesota. His first NHL game, although he did play 18 games against NHL competition with the U.S. Olympic team. Played only 5 games in the regular season in St. John's, 4 more in the playoffs. He had a goal in the postseason but had a sore shoulder. So a big night for him. He's in for Ken McRae, and Wendell Clark will suit up on that line for the Maple Leafs. Felix Potvin took a blast up in the throat area in the warm-up, but you can breathe a sigh of relief if you're a Leaf fan. We've seen great action between the pipes, be it Potvin or Eddie the Eagle Belfour or Frank Pellico, for that matter, on the Barton organ. Belfour has been the story here. The Hawks couldn't find any offense at Maple Leaf Gardens. 1 goal in 3 games, but they had 9 in this rink in support of Eddie Belfour. It's been tremendous goaltending. You will see Gilmour versus Roenick. You will see Chelios and Suter versus Lefebvre and McCowan. Everything's in place. As we say, could be the last time out. In a moment, you'll hear Wayne Mesmer in the anthem, and then it'll be Bob Cole and Harry Neal. Enjoy the show.
Please rise by recording soloists Wayne Mesmer and Frank Pellico at the organ first sing and play the Canadian National Anthem, followed by the Star Spangled Banner.
Chicago, that's the best you've been in the roaring department. And this is when the Blackhawks are usually at their best. Backs to the wall, the noisy home crowd here in Chicago. Win or elimination. The Leafs, though, will try to win it tonight. Hi, everybody. Bob Cole with Harry Neal in the booth, and there's Felix Potvin. Had a rather easy route to a shutout in Game 5. It's a safe bet. I think that he'll be a little busier tonight. Now, after a shaky start in the first game at Maple Leaf Gardens, Eddie Belfour has rebounded and is having a great series. Look to Belfour to be tough again tonight. Andy Van Hellemond is the referee. Ron Finn and Brad Lazarowicz will work the lines. Must-win situation for Chicago, as you know, and Roenick knows it too as he goes in early. But the Leafs break it up and playing his first game. Darby Hendrickson gets his first shot. However, it was tipped by Carney into the crowd.
Well, there are a few lineup changes for each team. Hendrickson up from St. John's, playing his first NHL game. Here are the scratches. Baumgartner with the bad wrist. The other scratches are all healthy ones. A lot of doubt as to whether Gilmore would play. As we mentioned in the opening, he is in the lineup. Darby Hendrickson played for the U.S. Olympic team this year. He's a fourth-round pick in 1990 from the University of Minnesota. 6'1", 175. Speed, offensive talent, and some quickness are the three adjectives that describe his play.
All right, the Leafs have Zezel now with Berg and Osborne. Brent Sutter on the faceoff for Chicago. Weinrich pass up the center to Cunnyworth. Another shot that's deflected. Potvin will hang on to it. Kirk Frame with Cunnyworth and Brent Sutter.
Well, for the Blackhawks, they've made two lineup changes. Here are the scratches. Dirk played in Game 5. And so did Christian. They're out. Neil Wilkinson in for Dirk and Patrick Poulin in for Dave Christian. Belfour, who was heroic in Game 5. And he has got a little better since he came home to Chicago. But with the few goals Chicago score, they need nearly a perfect game from Belfour.
Roenick on there again with a Monty and Murphy for Chicago against the Zezel line. That's Gartner on the right side. He was up there with a hit at center ice. Eldon Gill are the Leaf defensemen. They get it out to center, and hopping on it is Gill. Coming in over the Chicago line, but offside is Mark Osborne on the right wing.
Well, the first 10 or 12 minutes here are always the key at the Chicago Stadium. In games 3 and 4, the Leafs gave up 5 goals in the first 12 minutes of those games. How do you stop it? You dump the puck out all the time. Don't worry about icing. The defensive zone coverage. Take the point men away. Forecheck one man here for the first little while to keep 4 in the neutral zone. Don't take any stupid penalties. And lots of line changes every whistle. Anything to stall and take the momentum of the game. We've already seen the Leafs start to try and get by the first hurdle of 10 minutes.
Zezel winning the faceoff. LaFave shoots it in, and flat on the ice is Zezel right after he won the faceoff. He went down quickly.
Well, Andy Van Hellemond has not put up his hand to call a penalty, and it was right after the draw. The linesman may have caught it if it was a high stick. Remember, Zezel cut his eye in game number 5 in Toronto. Here it is right here. Chance puts a stick into Zezel as he's trying to pull away from Zezel. Zezel's got very strong strength on his stick, and he was trying to hold Chance's stick up and kick the drawback. It's one of his good, well-developed centerman tactics. Here it is again. Now watch him. He's got Chance's stick up. Chance wants to put it down, but Zezel really hoisted it into himself. So no penalty, no reason for it. Like he might have reopened the cut he got in game 5.
Appears to be okay. Getting his equipment, his gloves, his stick. And now starts to move around at center ice. And I think he'll go to the Leaf bench because I'm sure Pat Burns will make a change here.
He has to change Zezel because the trainer came out. The referees have talked to both teams. They don't want the trainer coming out until someone's hurt. They want players going to the net to make an obvious attempt to avoid the goalie. Two things we saw a lot of in Game 5 and quite a bit through the series, for that matter.
Gilmore, Gardner, and Clark now together for Toronto against Roenick, Amonte and Murphy, and the face-off at the Chicago blue line. No score. We're just underway. A minute into the first period. Gilmore's long shot on the net. First save for Belfour. And Chelios back to the goal, hitting Amonte. Back to Chelios. He'll skate out to center ice with it. From there, he shoots it in, and Puckman gets his first stop. Murphy on the puck in the Toronto zone. Murphy got away from Osborne and was knocked in back to the net. And there's Vanderbilt. He shot it away. Osborne is checked quickly by Murphy, and he just shot it out. Roenick turning. Coming back up is Amonte, and he's over the line. Amonte's shot, a high one, wide of the Leaf net. Kearney went in there, took a bump, but got the puck. Kearney left it in the corner for Murphy. There's Roenick on the other side and went behind him. Weinrich is moving up. Murphy back at the goal is checked by the Leaf defenseman. And at the line, it's out over, I believe. Yes, they call it offside. Roenick doesn't think so, but it's offside. Here's Ron McLean.
Bob at Joe Louis Arena. Detroit bounces back against San Jose. They're pulverizing the Sharks. It's 5-0 in the second period. Sergei Fedorov gets them rolling with his first of the playoffs from Kozlov. Steve Yzerman makes it 5-zip when he scores here on Artur Zerbe. Wings are doing it on the power play and doing it in a big way on home ice with Chris Osgood in goal this evening.
Face off just outside the Leaf line. Sutter won it. Suter shoots it in. There's Chelios taking the puck and driving it out the net. It's blocked in front of Potvin. The Leafs come out with it. Gilmore appears to be skating okay. Gardner's long shot. Clark was ahead of the play, and that is offside.
Well, we mentioned that Gilmore skated but didn't take part in the morning skate drills. He left the warm-up with 6:45 left in it. Under control, where he knows he's going next step, he looked like he was able to play. The test is going to be, can he stop and start? Can he block shots? Looks like it. Can he brace himself when he's being hit? You know one thing, he's got to be close to the morgue to keep him out of the lineup.
Hard to tell with Doug Gilmore. I was talking to him this afternoon at the hotel. He's non-committal, just kept saying he was going to try it. He wasn't sure. Didn't walk all that well in the lobby of the hotel, and here he is dressed and out there for this game.
Well, you knew he'd be there. Hendrickson is dressed and ready to go. He is a centerman, and I think Pat Burns just wants to make sure he's got that position covered if Gilmore can't play. Play the whole game. The first goal has been critical in this series. Every time a team scored it, they've won. Chicago got it twice here. Won games 3 and 4. Toronto got it in the 3 games they won. So all year long, it's a critical stat for some reason, but in this playoff round, it seems to be even more important.
Hendrickson is number 9, and he'll take the face-off. He has Clark and Gardner on the wings. Brent Sutter on the draw for Chicago, winning it. Moving into the corner is Kearney. Doesn't get out, but the Blackhawks do. Sutter's long shot is deflected to the right of the net, and he went in back of the goal to pick it up. Tried to dump it out front. He hit the back of the net with that pass out, and the Leafs dump it down the ice. 2.5 minutes gone in the first period. No score. Only a shot apiece so far, and both were from long range. Todd Gill had to pass to Elliott as he was checked. Rudu was in after him again, and he had to shoot it to center ice. Rudu kept coming and hit the defenseman, and the first penalty of the game is coming up. It's going to be against Toronto, though, and now Rudu is knocked down at center ice, and Andy Van Hellemond is right there, and so are all the other hockey players. They've all milled about quickly near the penalty box. And I think we're getting more than one penalty. A little more shoving and pushing, and Clark got his hand up, I think. into the Chicago player Roenick. Ruutu is still down.
Wendell Clark got the original penalty, or Eastwood gets the original penalty, I think.
Clark is gone.
But it's Clark who got the original penalty by Andy Van Hellemond. And then 10 seconds later, Ruutu was knocked down by Eastwood. So we know there's one penalty for sure. Here's the one Clark gets. Right there, and there's Eastwood. You can see he throws a little 5.5-inch elbow that snaps Ruutu's head back. So the Leafs will have one man in the box. Andy Van Hellemond trying to see how Ruutu is. He motioned the trainer to come on, so I think the trainer's got to wait till the referee says come out for an injured player.
Toronto penalty for 17, Wendell Clark, 2 minutes for an elbow at 3:07.
That's the only one so far.
Clark, 2 minutes for an elbow at 3:07.
3:07 the time. Clark got the elbow up, and he's off, and Chicago gets the first power play of the game.
It looks like that no one saw the Eastwood elbow. Our great guys in the truck found it. Ruutu seems to be all right. Daryl Sutter has to get some mileage out of. They have 7 forwards that don't even have a point and are a combined -11. Ruutu, Yzerberg, Chance, Sutter, Dubinsky, Cunningworth. These guys have to give their coach a little offense. This is game 6 without a point. The Leafs power play has been very effective. The Hawks hasn't.
Toronto's specialty teams in this series have been great. Penalty killing, 84.6%.
5 penalties to kill in game 5. The Hawks had 1 power play shot.
All right, here come the Chicago Blackhawks. Stop cold at the Toronto line. Chelios will bring it up there again. In for Murphy, he was bumped. Berg fell to the ice, and the puck is shot high into the crowd from the Toronto zone. So the penalty, the face-off will come inside the line to the left of Felix Potvin. That was ripped from inside the Leaf line high over the glass.
Well, another Hawk that hasn't done much, plays a lot and plays with Amani, and Roenick has 1 goal, Joe Murphy. And I think they counted on a little more production from him. We haven't seen much of his great speed, but give the Leaf defense credit. One-on-one, they may have the best 6 in the league when you count them all up, and they have been strong in that department in this series.
No scores. Chicago on the power play. Roenick can't win the draw. Ripped onto the boards in the corner and got by Suter all the way back inside the Chicago line. Chelios back. Roenick turning to his right. Pass comes to Suter. From center, he dumps it in. Roenick just missed it on the fly. Now it's cleared out in front. Chicago will keep it in. Suter lost it at the blue line. Chelios backing up for Amati. And he shoots it in. Comes off the glass with a funny bounce, and the Leafs got a break there by picking it up. Vanderbilt cleared it. 55 seconds left in the Wendell Clark penalty. No score, first period. Chicago coming out again. Suter with Chelios up the center. Poulin going over the line. Offside this time. And 46 seconds left in that penalty.
Well, Patrick Poulin, who came over from Hartford in a trade early this season, he really hasn't done much either. He's been in and out of the lineup twice now in this playoff. When he first came up from Hartford, he looked like he was going to be a high-scoring, big, strong winger. He has yet to look that way here in Chicago.
Zazzle is back on. So his injury earlier, not serious at all. And he's out there to help kill this penalty. As the Blackhawks, led by Chelios, come up. Suter has to shoot it in. He was checked right away near center ice. Chelios gave it away. And Berg killed a few seconds, then took a hit, but shot it in behind the Chicago net. 20 seconds left in the Clark penalty. First power play of the game. Chicago, no score. And coming in, dumped off to the side. Yzerberg gets it back again. Yzerberg in the corner, works his way out of there. Back to the line with it. Weisebart again closing in. Shooting. That hit a leg and bounced to the corner again. The penalty is over. Clark is on the ice. The Leafs have killed it. Chelios shot. Grazed the goalpost and comes back down the ice. And here he is again. Belfour away out of the net. Chelios was back. Gilmore nearly stole it. Now he does. Gilmore centered it for Clark. And he took a vicious whack at it. But the goaltender Belfour was down. He hangs on to it. And he'll get up screaming. No score in this first period. Another penalty to Clark. He's going again.
Some get it in a season. Some in a career. Some can only dream of getting it. $1 million. And you could win a chance to shoot for it. Scratch the neck label or call for details on entry without purchase.
Are you sure they said center ice?
The Molson Canadian Stanley Cup
I
Contest.
think they said the top. No,
Take
money.
your best shot.
Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC is brought to you by Molson Canadian. Take your best shot in the Molson Canadian Score a Million Stanley Cup Contest. By Ford of Canada, where quality is job one. And by Pepsi. Be young, have fun, drink Pepsi.
Wendell Clark going to the net, taking a slice right there at the puck that was frozen by Belfour. In the opinion of referee Andy Van Helleman, he slashed him after it was frozen and serves another 2 minutes.
All right, the Leafs have killed off one penalty to Wendell Clark. And they're going to have to do it again now. Here's Murphy coming in, shoots. Potvin made the save. And the Leafs cleared the rebound down the ice. No score, first period. Wendell Clark in the penalty box again. Chicago with a great chance to draw first blood. Amati won't reach the pass. Lefebvre ripped it on the boards in the corner and it gets out. Kearney brings it back in. Kearney flipped it in, back to the net. It got high and went over the glass, and the faceoff will come outside the Toronto blue line.
Well, Wendell Clark's taken 2 penalties, but I think he's made it pretty obvious tonight, Bob. This guy is here to play. He's been very quiet physically. I really think the Hawks have left him alone, figuring if we don't make Wendell mad, we have a better chance that he may just play a normal game. We all know, and so do Wendell's teammates know, when he's got a burr under his saddle, no horse can hold him.
Minute 20 left in this penalty. Vanderbilt and Osborne, penalty killers with Rouse and Ellen. Suter and Chelios on the ice again. And they shoot it in. Here comes Roenick with Murphy and Amaki going to the net. The shot, blocked, rebound! And somehow Potvin saw it. And Murphy was sweeping into that far side and got a backhander away. But Chicago is unable to beat Potvin.
Well, he made a great save on an excellent point shot from Suter. And then makes a wonderful stop right here with his glove on Murphy as Murphy takes the backhander. There was a knuckleball with traffic. Joe Murphy gets a backhander when Potvin's down and in a helpless position. Can't get it up, and Potvin stones Murphy again.
Potvin doing it once more to the Chicago Blackhawks. He made one miraculous save in Game 5. That turned out to be the save of the game late in the game. And here he is early in the game here in Chicago in Game 6, stopping the Blackhawks.
That attempt at icing went off a Hawk stick, so the faceoff is outside. Remember, I mentioned short glass here in Chicago, especially on the ends. Many more pucks into the crowd than in most rings.
1 minute left in Wendell Clark's second penalty of the period. Chicago on the power plays, of course, are out shooting Toronto 4-1. No score. Here's McCown swinging at it. He missed it. Murphy from the corner gets it back to the line to Chelios, and he's winding up. Chelios, no shot. Roenick in too far for a shot. Backs out to Suter. To Chelios. Shoots. Rebound. And it's going to be Bill Bird picking it up and skating out with it. Bird finding McCown on the open side and just dumped it in. Chelios back to the net with 25 seconds left in the lead penalty. Chelios coming up to center. Golfed it over the line, and that was not a very good play. As the Leafs easily picked it off and cleared it. 15 seconds left in the penalty declared. Poulin pushed a pass up on the right side. Here's center. Root who turns. Fired one. Rebound is there. Yzerman is backed off to the boards. Now Gary Suter into Yzerman coming in. Puck band down. Scramble in front of him. And Gilmore is going to pick it up and fire it down the ice. The Leafs have killed off the penalty to Clark. And that is icing called against Toronto. Chicago came close, but that's all. No score.
Well, they did get 3 pretty good scoring opportunities on that power play. Another pass across. Ellett goes down early and is beaten by Yzerman. 3 Hawks can't find the puck before Potvin finds it, and then Todd Gill tips it over to a spot where Gilmore can put it down. When you go down to block a shot and the guy fakes the shot, you slide right out of the picture, as Dave Ellett did. Although in all fairness, when you're that close to the net, there's no room to back up. And maybe Ellett realized that and decided to at least take the shot away and hope Yzerman didn't have enough room to walk by him.
Chance out there again for Chicago. Dubinsky is on the left wing. He's number 32. Rich Sutter on the right side for the Blackhawks line. Pearson, Vanderbilt, and Eastwood for Toronto. Wilkinson comes back. Takes a hit from Pearson deep in his own zone. Vanderbilt waits for the puck to come loose. It did, but Chance got it. Dubinsky bringing it out to center. Dumped in by Rich Sutter. And Mironov shot it off the glass and got it back out. It's wrapped down the ice. Chicago back. Smith got up as far as the Leaf line. And then Belfour has to come out to play it for Wilkinson. Nearing the 9-minute mark of the first period. No score. Wilkinson's pass up through the middle was a good one for Rich Sutter. Into Shantz. He'll have to try and catch up to it. The fave is there first. Dubinsky giving a bump in the corner. Eastwood fighting for it. He gets it. Eastwood's pass off the Chicago player's stick. And it got out to center. Weinrich for Dubinsky. Takes a bump from Lefebvre. Potvin stepping behind the net, scooping it up on the board. The Leafs trying to get it out of the zone. 11:09 remaining in the first period. And no score. Andrechuk had to shoot it away. Blackhawks are pressing here as the Leafs change. And now the pass in for Honeyworth. A little bit too far. Brent Sutter is on it. He takes a hit from McCown. Kicked the puck loose with a skate. In back of the net. It is Green getting a shot as he came out front. Wasn't a hard shot, but it was right on there. And Potvin going down, made the save and held it.
New Ford Windstar, I'd say it's the evolution of the minivan. I've never heard of another minivan that has all of these safety features standard.
The dual airbags.
Yeah, 4-wheel anti-lock brakes.
Those things that
This reinforced side beams are...
they make me feel really comfortable driving my children in a car where I know they're safe. I like the fact that there's a child-proof safety lock on the sliding door, the 24-hour roadside assistance. I like to know I can call and get help right away. The Ford Windstar, that's great. Safety is so important to me. It has to be one of the most important things when you're a mom.
Now, get a pepperoni pan pizza with piles of pepperoni for $10.99, just $10.99. Plus, take home a free bottle of Pepsi Max. pizza and free Pepsi Max at Pizza Hut.
Stay tuned after our game for Game 6 of the Calgary-Vancouver series, except for viewers in Manitoba, who will see prime time news on CBC. 10:41 remaining in the first period here at the grand old Chicago Stadium. 7-1 are the shots in favor of the Blackhawks. We have no score.
Bob, I thought the cheering during the anthem was as loud as I've heard it. I get the impression some of them were saying goodbye to the Chicago Stadium. Of course, not knowing whether the Hawks can win this one and Saturday to go to the next round.
It's an incredible decibel level. They've always been very loud, very high, and you wondered how they'd get up. Well, they did tonight. Here's a shot from in close, blocked in front of Potvin. The Blackhawks still looking for it. Brett Sutter got out front. He's stopped, and Osborne gets a chance to clear it, roll it down across the Chicago line. Blackhawks come back. And here they come. Weinrich, a pass, got by Clark near center ice. Elliott now put it on the boards. That one over Clark's head, and the Blackhawks shoot it in and chase it after it now. Here's Rouse. He shot one down the ice. Nobody could play it. Suter went back to pick it up. It's tipped inside the line, and Belfour will come out to knock it away for Chelios. The Blackhawks start out. Pass through center to Lamonti. He's in over the line. Roll it! Can't get a shot. Potvin got the right skate on it. And Clark made a good move at center. Beating Chelios. Clark pass in front of the net. And the drive by Hendrickson is blocked by Belfour. Hendrickson getting his first shot on goal, and it was a good one.
Well, the Leafs weathered the storm. Not as prettily as they might have wanted, but we're past the 10-minute mark. The score is 0-0, and the Leafs have killed 2 penalties in that 10-minute stretch.
Today, talking to the coaching staff of the Leafs, Kitchen and Murphy, and there's Kitchen, Mike Kitchen. They were saying if we get by the first 10 minutes, we'll be okay.
They'll get by this round if guys like Osborne will take a hit to make the puck get out of the zone, just like he did right there. He knew he was going to get drilled. More important, he knew the puck had to get out.
Chicago moving up. Poulin gets over the line and dumped it in there. Lefebvre striding back to pick it up, and Poulin will hit him. But the Maple Leafs come to center, led by Gilmore. Gilmore over the Chicago line is knocked down by Chelios. And the crowd love that. Pass him back to the Chicago net will come out near Todd Gill. He had to move in to give it to Gilmore. He centered it, and Chicago will come out. Isabart misplayed it. Todd Gill. Pass to the left side. And through center ice, the Chicago defensemen have it again. Suter and Chelios. Chance. And he'll just put a weak shot in. Elliott hangs on to it. It hit him in the midsection, and he just backed up and held the puck. No further play. We have another update now, and here's Ron.
Right, Bob, back to Detroit. Couple of goals here to bring you up to date. It's 6-1. The Red Wings lead in the second period. This is the goal that breaks up the shutout bid for Chris Osgood. Ulf Dahlin with his third of the playoffs. 5-1 Wings at that stage. And then Dino Ciccarelli. Watch this beautiful move for Dino. That's his 4th goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. It's the Wings 6, San Jose 1 at JLA.
So that one will go to 7.
7-1.
How far will this game, this series go? 8-2 are the shots in this first period in favor of Chicago. They must win tonight, or they're done. Rouse from behind the net, going to the other side to Manderville. He got it out and down the ice, and Wilkinson comes back for Chicago. Pearson watching him. Late on the boards, but still in there to Eastwood. Manderville shot, a weak one. Eastwood after it, back of the goal, and they pound him hard. Smith hit him. Rich Sutter to center and lost it. But the Blackhawks, Wilkinson picks it up. Now to Sutter. His shot. Saved by Potvin. the boards, and Smith kept it in. Aronoff for Manderville. Long pass. Here's Pearson. He couldn't pick it up. The Blackhawks have it, and they come right back. Leading over the leaf line. Wilkinson is given a hard hit as he tried to keep going. Pearson missed the pass. It goes right to Belfour, though. The Leafs are changing. Chicago with a little room in this rush. Coming up, Graham. He poked it by Gill, but Elliott got it. Now Brent Sutters stopped it. And the Leafs get it out of the zone. Blackhawks pick it up and swing right back in. Here's Carney. Shot it over the line, and near the net was Osborne to start back. At the 13-minute mark of the first period, and no score. But for the first game, a low-scoring series. 7:02 left in the opening period, and nothing doing yet.
The Leafs have done a masterful job. Their wingers have, though. They are dumping the puck out. They are always on the boards for an outlet by their defensemen. I know they're going to ice the puck a few times. I know they've only had one really half-decent chance to score. And here's what I'm talking about. They're taking people out. They're playing an ultra-conservative hockey. And they're just trying to get out of the first period, not down 2-0, not down 3-0.
Well, I said a low-scoring series. But here in the Chicago Stadium, of course, as you remember, 9 goals in the first game and 7 in the second, both won by the Blackhawks, 5-4, and the overtime 4-3. Other than that, in the first game at Maple Leaf Gardens, 1-0 overtime Toronto, and 1-0 in Game 5 Toronto. So it's been rather stingy in parts, and it looks like this one is going that route. No score yet in this first period. 6:45 remaining. 9-2 shots, Chicago. Back to the Leaf net again. Gartner can't move it by Green. Hendrickson was there to hook it away off the boards. And from the right side, the Leafs get it out. But Green was in there hitting LaFave. Pass comes in front of the net. Sutter backs it off the boards and gets it to center. Gill played it back in to Gartner. He couldn't go very far, and Clark nailed Honeyworth. Drove him back a few feet with that hit. Clark on the boards. Honeyworth broke his stick. Hand pass ahead. And the play is called.
For the first time, there's a saw that combines dust collection, an auto brake, and a powerful 3-year warranty. So there's no limit to what you can build. Introducing the Quantum Circular Saw. New from Black & Decker.
Sometimes the truth is a little hard to understand. Other times, there's real value in getting a helping hand. Help is on the way with Rubbermaid's Little Roughnecks, bucket, laundry basket, step stool, wastebasket, or hamper, now up to 30% off. Home-baked bread is easy with Black & Decker's automatic programmable bread maker. $199.97, including bonus electric knife. True value. It's something you'll find every day at your Canadian True Value hardware store.
Introducing the Quantum Random Orbit Sander. It's tough enough to tackle any project from start to finish. Plus, it's backed by a 3-year warranty. The new Quantum line, only from Black & Decker.
Don't play around with high prices. Come to Canadian Tire, your summer sports headquarters, and save on a huge selection of top-name sports equipment.
The Leafs get their first power play of the game. Chicago caught with too many players on the ice on a player change. Andy Van Hellemond spotted that. And Amati is serving the 2-minute minor against Chicago. So no score here in the first period. And Toronto with their first power play. Now line up for it. Borshevsky is on there. Here's Andrechuk coming out to center with Mironov right there with him. Borshevsky going after the puck. Gilmore on the ice. Elliott is the other man, and the shot from the boards. Put back into play by Belfour, but not quickly enough. The whistle had sounded, and the face-off will be in the Chicago zone.
Well, when the coaches are changing on the fly to avoid or get a matchup, as often as they have in the first 14 minutes of this game, if you aren't on the ball on the bench and are listening to the coach because he may change the rotation, according to what the other coach did, you can get into the same trouble that the Hawks did. Somebody wasn't listening, and they had one too many skaters out there.
Good point. It's when they're changing lines like that. The guy who was your man the last shift may not be your man this time.
It'd be nice if the three lines rotated around every time, but that doesn't happen very often this league, especially not for these teams.
Chicago got caught there. And the Leafs have the puck. Gilmore on this power play back to Wella. His shot knocked down in front. Gardner was there and couldn't make contact. The Leafs are on it. Mironov gives Elliott another chance. And the drive goal! Elliott takes the shot. Somebody tipped it in front of Belfour. And the Leafs get a power play goal at 14:49 and take a 1-0 lead.
I think Gardner 11. The two Leaf forwards get behind the two Chicago defensemen. You can't have that. They got to back up and try and push these. Look at this. I mean, you can't allow this and expect the goalie to stop it. I don't know whether it was tipped or screened, but Belfour had no chance on it at all. Nobody even went to move those guys out. I think Gardner touched it.
He got it. Okay, and Mironov passed it along to Elliott, who took the shot, and Gardner in front made contact, and the Maple Leafs get a power play goal and lead 1-0.
Well, it's amazing, Bob, all the great chances Gardner's had and hasn't scored, and then he gets a tip in that you didn't even, you had to wait for the official score to have it verified. They all count. Gardner was overdue.
So 5 minutes remaining in the first period, and Toronto drawing first blood and lead 1-0 in this crucial game for Chicago. Rouse lays it off the boards to center to Eastwood. He backhands it into the Chicago zone. There's Wilkinson behind the net, and into the corner goes Smith. Smith played it out. Up to center. Dubinsky brings it in. Shot it off the boards for Chance. He can't center it, and Potvin is down with a skate on the post. And now he holds it.
It looks like Andy Van Hellemond is letting these players play a good, tough, physical game. But he's going to get after you if you take an extra swing or if you retaliate. He's warning him now. When I blow the whistle, I don't want any pushing, skirmishes, any name calling. Get away from each other, and I won't be giving you a penalty you don't want to take.
Coming up, of course, in the first intermission, Coach's Corner with Don Cherry. Face off to the right of Potvin. 4:38 left. Here's Chance. Couldn't get a shot in on the net. It was deflected. Rip Sutter bumping with his man on the boards. Play stop. And another face off to the right of Felix Potvin.
Puck go over the boards, over the glass. Rich Sutter, one of the Hawk players who have been giving a monumental performance physically, but not helping his brother very much out offensively. Neither is Cunnyworth. You can't rely completely on one line to score in the playoffs, where the checking is more intense and the checkers are more dedicated.
Chance has Cunnyworth, and Rich Sutter takes the puck back to the line. Wilkinson. And Potvin through the crowd saw it and made the left pad save, and again held onto it.
Well, there's that great talent Potvin's got, Bob. He makes the stop on, I don't think he saw the whole shot, but he found it halfway in, makes the stop, and watch the rebound that comes off his left pad. I mean, this is a great goaltending skill. Comes about 5 inches off so he can get it.
Covered up very quickly. Chicago hoping for a better rebound, of course, and they were coming for the net, barreling right in. Well, the Leafs are leading 1-0 with 4:25 left in this first period, even though they've been outshot 10-5. Chance being worked over by Gilmore. Puck loose back of the net. Rich Sutter gets out. The backhander, another weak one, as he did the spin around from behind the net and got a weak backhander away. Not happy about the play at all, but Potvin easily covered up.
Well, the Hawks have had 11 shots. 7 of them have come on the power plays. The 2 power plays they've had. So 5 on 5, they haven't done a lot. Sutter loves to try this. Potvin has his foot against the post and the paddle of his stick on the ice. So you have to go upstairs to beat him. That's hard to do when you're skating away from the net and you're being hounded.
And that close.
Right, and that close to get it up over him. So Potvin's playing the odds there. He's saying if you can get it up from 4 feet out, you might score. If you can't, I'm stopping.
Boy, there's not much room up over the shoulders when you're in that close. 4:09 left in the period. Back to the blue line for a long shot. Potvin saw that all the way. Batted away. And the Leafs are going to skate out. Andrechuk carries to center. There goes Osborne down the left side and on with the brakes. Back for Andrechuk. He's checked by Chelios, allowing Amaki to come back. Andrechuk gets in there, gets a shot away. Again Andrechuk, but he's knocked down before he could get the backhander on the net. Chicago's Amaki played it back. It's broken out. Here's Cecil right in. Oh, what a save by Belfour. Another long shot high over the net. That's a game-saver type play by Belfour. Osborne shooting one a little too high over the boards at the Leaf bench. And now listen to this crowd in Chicago. They get up and they get behind Eddie Belfour for that great save off Peter Cecil. Here's your score in the first period.
Kellogg's presents Heads Up Hockey with Brett Hull.
Hi, I'm Brett Hull. Today we're going to talk about the importance of your equipment. You have to take responsibility for your gear, making sure it fits right and is kept in good working order.
Nothing tastes better than Grandma's banana nut bread. That's why we're proud to admit that new Kellogg's Banana Nut Mueslix was inspired by Grandma's recipe. With crispy whole wheat flakes, crunchy granola, chopped walnuts, and the delicious taste of banana. Don't be surprised if it reminds you of her recipe. Try new Kellogg's Banana Nut Mueslix, because only Kellogg's tastes like Grandma's recipe.
Proper fitting pads and a helmet are essential to preventing injuries on the ice. Keeping your skates sharp and having a proper stick will give you the tools needed to do the best for your team.
Heads Up Hockey, presented by Kellogg's.
2 great contributors to this National Hockey League. The late George Punchinlack and Bob Pulford, who's now here in Chicago. We remind you, tonight's game is sponsored by Household, providing financial services for the family. Here's Green getting a shot. Cecil in the corner trying to pick it up. Chelios off the boards with it. He's stopped. Another long shot goes in behind the net. Chicago pressing, trying to tie it. Here's a shot from close in. That's blocked. Roenick was open in front of the net. And finally, the Leafs get it back out. Clark through center to Cecil. Shot in on the right side, and there's Chelios flipping it back to the net. Suter. 2:30 left in the period. Suter comes out. He'll get the center with the pass to Route 2, and he's over the line. Coming in. Couldn't get a shot. Now there it is. Potvin the save, and the Leafs hang on and shoot it down the ice. Belfour has to play it. 2:15 left in the period. Clark is in there bumping Suter. Clark went over and he hit the Chicago player at the far side. Wemrich. Here's Eisenberg with Route 2, and he missed it. Honeyworth gives it to Route 2 to Eisenberg behind the net. Can't center it. Potvin down. Pile up to the left of the net. Andrechuk is going to dump it to the line, but not out. Arnie kept it in. Andrechuk again. This time, he looks it high down the ice. Belfour steers it to one side for Carney. A minute and a half remaining in the first period. Toronto 1, Chicago nothing. They're starting to hit a little more out there now. in the late minutes of this first period. Gilmore belted his man at the far side, and there's Belfour. He had two minds. He saw Gartner speeding in. Here's a pass through the middle, coming in over the line. It is Rich Sutter. Dubinsky shot it in behind the net. And Gardner was back to pick it up and get the puck back out with a minute left in the period. Rich Sutter with some room going down that wing. Sutter finally caught by the speedy Gardner. Sutter worked it off the boards. The Leafs shoot it away, and out to center ice it goes. 45 seconds left in the period. Toronto leading 1-0, and Gary Suter shot one in. There's Allen. Hawks are pressing again. Over aggressive now and moving up over the Leaf line, but four Leafs line up to bring it out. Vanderbilt strides in. That's broken up. And Gill was offside, taking the puck inside the Chicago line. And 26.6 seconds remaining in the opening period. And I'll tell you, Harry, it wouldn't take much to get these two exploding and going at each other.
Look at these two hits. First of all, Randy Cunneyworth on Peter Zezel. He had more hang time than most 40-yard punts in football. Here it is right here. Zezel can't get all the way out of the way. It's a great shoulder hit, and Zezel was 2 seconds before he landed. Later on, watch Wendell Clark right here on Chris Chelios, who was admiring his pass, and Wendell stopped him dead in his tracks. You gotta be a man to play this game. And Chelios is one, or he wouldn't be getting up.
1-0. Toronto leading Chicago. Shots are 13-6 in favor of the Blackhawks. Potvin having a big period for the Leafs. And 20 seconds remaining. Puck down on the right side. It's cleared in front of Potvin. Pearson gets it out over the line to center. Eastwood shot it back in front for Manderville. 4 seconds remaining. The Blackhawks one more chance, and they could not capitalize. Murphy just turned and took a whack at it. And the siren goes to end the first period. Gartner has the only goal in the period. He of the Maple Leafs, and they are leading in this hockey game. And Don Cherry is coming up in the coach's corner. Again, the shots in the first period, 13-6 in favor of Chicago. Gartner from Ellett and Marinov at 14:49. 1-0 Toronto.
Thanks, boy. I needed that.
Wake up to cool, refreshing Skin Bracer.
You know what? If anybody knows tough as much as me, it's those Ford truck guys. Boy, these babies are tough. Super payload and not bad looking either, eh, Rose?
Now see the new Enforcer full-size pickup at your Ford and Mercury dealers with driver's side airbag, rear ABS, and more, all for $13,994.
That's one tough price to beat, boy. Gotta tell you, next to Rose, these Ford trucks are as tough as they come.
Hey, give us a hand, you floater.
That's my Rose. Coming near.
Just like an old friend you can count on and trust. It's like stroking on the sunshine, right over the rust. Treat it to trim clad, give it some TLC.
Add your own decorator touch with fast drying, long lasting trim clad. Stroke on some fashion.
Give it that TLC.
Where's everybody? Simple. People are bored with chicken. That's why Subway has our original turkey breast sub. It's oven roasted turkey on fresh baked bread with all the trimmings. So if you're tired of the same old chicken, Subway's talking turkey.
The original turkey breast sub at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
This is the best part.
No two people are exactly alike.
Hi.
While Bob likes the high gloss shine of original Armor All Protectant, Fred prefers new low gloss Armor All with the rich, deep finish.
I gotta be me.
Either way, it's your choice. Only from Armor All.
Is this your average wave? Is this your average beer? Molson Special Dry with the original dry brew taste. Now with a special new look. The next step in the evolution of beer. Molson Special Dry. It just could be the best beer ever brewed. Anytime, anywhere. Catch one.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry. Brought to you by Pepsi. Be young, have fun, drink Pepsi.
To discover the real difference between the world's two leading soft drinks, we're implementing an anthropological study. Chimp A will be allowed nothing but Coke. Chimp B, nothing but Pepsi. The results are astounding. The chimp that drank Coke showed improvement in motor skills. The chimp that drank Pepsi, however, disappeared.
Hello? It's him.
The bee monkey. That's me, Popeye. That's Rose. And that's you, Wimpy.
Yeah, all right. Gladly pay a Tuesday for a hamburger. I like hamburgers, so I guess that makes sense. 1-0 Toronto done. First goals meant everything in this series. Team scoring first, won all 5 games. How come it's so important?
Because you got to score 2 to win. It's very simple.
It's early on. You'd think it shouldn't be such a factor.
It is. It gets the jump. It's always a jump. And you know what I used to say all the time? We had to get, and the guys get sick of it. Great. Will you stop saying it? When they always get the first one, I'd say, well, we got to get 1 to win anyhow, guys. And they'd say, shut up. Big goal, first goal all the time. Wendell Clark came back. You remember that game in that regular season game when he came?
Last game of the season, yeah.
Somebody burned his toast, like I said before. He'd come out banging like that. That's how Wendell's got to play. Remember, I was standing up in the organ loft, and I said, if I was Chicago, I'd let him fall asleep, and that's exactly what he did till tonight. He's whacking them around tonight.
Well, he had to play 3 and 4 nights. Same thing as Chelios and Suter. It's tough when you play the kind of hockey he does.
And talking about Chelios, I have something right here. What a great guy. And I'll tell you, I got a little clip here I'd like to show you, and then we'll come back. Right away, can you run that little clip on Chris Chelios? Now, walk him knocking guys around. Well, he didn't get knocked around there. But anyhow, him and Gilmore are always going at it. 2 good guys, 2 superstars right there. My type of guys, right? Banging and crashing and watch them go at it. That's the way to... Isn't this beauty? There are 2 little bull terriers going, yeah, yeah, yeah. You want to go, and everything like that. Now, this is the real Chris Chelios from my Grapevine show. He had his little baby in his arms. Now, when you hear the baby hiccup, here it goes. Go ahead, run it right now. I thought you'd like this. Something a little different.
What do you think of fisticuffs or fighting? I say fisticuffs for the sweethearts out there, don't get bad. But what do you think about it in the game?
Well, I agree with what Kevin said. It's part of the game, and until they take it out, it's always going to be a part of the game. I think it takes away a lot from the stick work, because if I think the fighting's out, the stick work might come into use. So, it's been there, it's going to be there, and until they take it out, I think, it's hockey.
You're going to be here a long time, too, and Dean, we'll see you in 2006. First-round draft choice for the Boston Bruins. Put it there, Chris. All right.
Jeez,
you look pretty good.
I had brown hair back then.
Chelios looked
made
good
mine
too.
gray.
Yeah, that's good. Glad I've done something. Oh, that's nice. How about the Pittsburgh Penguins are gone? You believe it?
Well, I watched that game last night. You watched it too, and it looked like a bunch of beautiful golden retrievers against some bull terriers that wanted to win. And, you look at that Pittsburgh team, it looked like they weren't hungry. I hate to say it, didn't look like they were in shape. And the other team wanted it more. And I questioned Schoenfeld on the Defoe putting him in, and I know everybody said he had a groin injury, but putting him in, and the whole thing, putting Beaupre in. Beaupre was 4-0. But the coaches know. We don't know. General managers don't know. Coaches know. I remember one time
Cheevers won 2 straight one time against Philly in Boston in the playoffs. I come back. I know if they're going to win any game, they're going to win the 3rd game in Philly. I put in Rod Graham, and I'll tell you, he got, he
nice.
did pretty well. You got.
Don't you say to your team when you do that? That's what I wonder. It's almost like Jim saying we're going to lose this one, so we may as well,
Well, that's the way you have to do it. And Cheevers looked at me, you dirty rat. We did lose it. Cheevers come back and had 52 shots. We put them out. Your coaches know. They always know. But how about the phantom 5-minute major? That means Washington won. Yeah, unbelievable. Didn't even touch him. A little thing like that. They won without Hunter, and they won without Hatcher.
Can't
Pretty
bring
good
back
team.
the silver with golden retrievers. I get it. We only got about a minute. Do you want to mention the Bruins winning?
Bruins winning. How about that there? What I tell you about a guy coming in and going to play great? Al Iafrate. The Bruins, Patrick Roy broke their heart twice. That's like hitting a guy with your best shot and he doesn't even blink and he comes back and they still dug down. I'm going to tell you something right now. Al Iafrate, he is going to be an all-star and he's going to win the Norris Trophy within 2 years. Now, I'm always talking about Gilmore. See him try to block the shot with a sore hand. I said we had a lot of guts, not too much brains. But I saw something that Sutter read about him, and I hope I do better the last time I wrote. But this is what Sutter said about Gilmore. They said he's got a bad ankle. His ankle is a long way from his heart, said Sutter, who played against Gilmore and admires him greatly. He's a hell of a competitor. Even at 165 pounds, he was their most physical player. And he wasn't picking his spots. He ran into everybody. Now, remember, you kids out there, again, I say it, when they say you're too small to play hockey, just think of Gilmore.
Can't argue with that.
Right.
And Chris Chelios, with whom I have a lot in common. Carrying a baby when I'm on with Don Cherry. In the Coach's Corner on Molson Hockey Night in Canada and the Stanley Cup playoffs on CBC.
Coach's Corner with Don Cherry. Brought to you by Pepsi. Be young, have fun, drink Pepsi.
Pick up your copy of Mrs. Doubtfire today before someone else grabs it.
Back off!
Don't miss the hottest deal on video.
My first day as a woman, I'm getting hot flashes.
$24.98 or less.
Surprise.
Buy Mrs. Doubtfire today.
Now there's a new degree of odor protection. Introducing Degree Deodorant Active Stick, the body heat activated deodorant that releases extra odor protection every time your body heat rises. For a new degree of odor protection.
This year, use a post-emergent herbicide that controls green foxtail from the 1 to 6 leaf stage. And you can control up to 30 of your worst broadleaf weeds. Pinpoint accuracy. That's the power of laser and Laser DF from Agrivo.
Open Market Grain Services from Saskatchewan Wheat Pool. Ultra-bred seed, only from Saskatchewan Wheat Pool.
I hate blind Dave.
When life turns up the heat,
He's here.
nothing protects like Degree antiperspirant. It's body heat activated to give extra protection when you need it most.
Jeff? Hi.
Degree, your body heat turns it on.
You know, a healthy smile is the most important thing you can own, and just about anybody can have one. Like Julie and Greg. They always brush thoroughly. And Jim, what a great smile. Don't forget your dentist appointments, girls. Max and Bo have great teeth. The moral of my story is, if you got 'em, blossom. April is Dental Health Month, so take time for a chew shine. Keep smiling. A message from Smiling Bob and your dentist.
It's one of sport's ultimate achievements, having a place with the elite. The new Hockey Hall of Fame honors almost 300 of the game's greatest contributors. Throughout the postseason, we present many of them on Hockey's Great Wall. It's brought to you by Ford of Canada, a proud founding sponsor of the Hockey Hall of Fame and makers of the 1995 WinStar. Tonight, a man known for his ability and durability, Blackhawk legend Pierre Pilote next.
New Ford Windstar, I'd say it's the evolution of the minivan. I've never heard of another minivan that has all of these safety features standard.
The dual airbags.
Yeah, four-wheel anti-lock brakes.
Those things that
This reinforced side beams are...
they make me feel really comfortable driving my children in a car where I know they're safe. I like the fact that there's a child-proof safety lock on the sliding door, the 24-hour roadside assistance. I like to know I can call and get help right away. The Ford Windstar, that's great. Safety is so important to me. It has to be one of the most important things when you're a mom.
Pierre Pilote was inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame in 1975. He joined the Blackhawks in 1956 and for the next 5 seasons firmly established his place in the league without missing a game. During his career, he made 8 consecutive trips to the All-Star podium. During that time, he was also anointed on 3 consecutive occasions with the Norris Trophy. During his tenure in Chicago, he recorded 559 points and played on the last Chicago Stanley Cup team in 1961. His final season was played for the Leafs in Toronto. Tonight, we're proud to focus on Pierre Pilote, on hockey's Great Wall. It's presented by Ford of Canada, makers of the 1995 Windstar and a proud founding sponsor of the new Hockey Hall of Fame and Museum.
We own one of the Chrysler minivans, and we've had a chance to try this new Ford Windstar, and it is incredible. This is an extended van. It doesn't look like it.
When I turned around from my seat and saw how much room the kids have, it's great.
No, the Windstar holds 7 people and all the luggage you want, too.
It's one of the smoothest rides we've ever had, car or van.
And quiet, too, except when the kids are
making
their little contribution. It's got front-wheel drive. I really like that feature. And, you know, to me, it really feels like the evolution of the minivan.
Every day at factories like this, products like this motor oil are packaged. Some with the MotoMaster Formula 2000 label, some with another famous label. The idea being people pay more for a national brand name. But when you buy MotoMaster oil at Canadian Tire, you get national brand quality that costs less. MotoMaster Formula 2000 meets the same new SH performance standards just like Quaker State, Castrol, Valvoline, and other national brands. You simply can't buy a higher rated motor oil. MotoMaster, quality automotive products for a lot less.
CBC News World. Live, up-to-the-minute coverage of major events as they happen. From across the country and around the world, we go the distance to bring you the Canadian view. This weekend, CBC News World brings you the results of South Africa's elections, live on location, a CBC News World exclusive. Find this symbol in your TV listings and stick with it. CBC News World. News on the hour. Information around the clock.
For spring wheat, only one product does it all. Triumph Plus. In one pass, it controls wild oats and green foxtail with the widest window of application. From the 1 to 6 leaf stage, up to emergence of the 3rd tiller. Plus over 30 broadleaf weeds. Ask your neighbors who've used it. The results have been overwhelming. Triumph Plus from Agrivo. Wow.
Now enjoy a lot more of the world. Air Canada and CIBC Aero Gold Visa turn what you buy into Aeroplan miles. Aeroplan and CIBC Aero Gold Visa. Air Canada for all the world.
Welcome back to the Chicago Stadium, where the Maple Leafs are leading the Chicago Blackhawks 1-0. Second period about to get started. And there's the goal scorer for Toronto, Mike Gardner, at 14:49 from Mironov and Ellen. That was on a Leaf power play. The shots were 13-6 in favor of Chicago. Leafs are leading 1-0. Suter given a bump right off the bat by Manderville, who was in there quickly. Suter again, rubbed in on the boards by Manderville. And the puck held there by the Chicago defenseman. Osborne and Roenick were pushing and shoving. Nothing developed.
You see Manderville playing center ice here with Berg and Osborne. You have to wonder whether Peter Zezel is a little hurt. He got hit in the head, and then he was the victim of that big body check by Cunneyworth. Pat Burns mixes his lines up. It may not mean he's hurt, but he's played every shift in the first period with these two fellas, and they have played almost exclusively against Ronan.
Brent Sutter comes on for Chicago. Cunneyworth and Graham, and here's Graham coming out. Graham of the Blackhawks shoots it off the boards in the corner, and Potvin has to play it. Cunneyworth was in there fast, and Potvin held it.
Let's have a look at the bench here and see if Peter Zezel is on it. He may be in the dressing room getting a little bit of extra first aid. As you can see, he is not on the bench. This is the defense corps we're getting in now. They always sit at the end of the bench closest to their net. So, of course, they can change on the fly and have less space to cover. So Zezel's not out there yet. And it remains to be seen whether he's going to return or not. They're putting a new pane of glass in here. The glass really shakes at the Chicago Stadium. The players will tell you.
Everything shakes.
The hits into the boards aren't as painful as they are in Toronto or Montreal, where there's no give to the boards or glass at all. But some of the hits that have been delivered and taken tonight, there's no way you can get around feeling it.
Some years ago, when one of the major networks in the States were covering a seventh game between Montreal and Chicago, and I was doing hockey for CBC Radio at the time, and Phil Esposito of the Boston Bruins was here as a color man, and Phil and I were up in this booth. We're high above the ice surface at the Chicago Stadium. Before the game, it shakes. You know that, Harry. There's a little shimmer to this thing, and it's under us now. Phil was telling me, because his brother was playing in Gopher Chicago, he couldn't believe it. His knees were shaking before the game. I never did tell him. It was the booth, Phil, not you. Penalty coming up against Toronto, I think, as they came out of the zone. Wendell Clark was carrying the puck away after the faceoff deep in the Toronto zone. And a penalty now to Mike Gartner.
This is the third penalty of this game to the Leafs. They killed off the first two. On the second one, the Hawks had three excellent scoring opportunities. Peter Zezel's one of the premier penalty killers in the league, and on the Leafs, he's back out now, so he must have been getting some repair to his equipment, and he's ready to kill the penalty. Look at the right side of your frame. Gartner knocks the linesman down, and that's why he gets the penalty.
Roenick, Amonte and Murphy, the big line for Chicago. Chelios and Suter are the defensemen, of course. So that's the big quintet for the Blackhawks on this power play. Chelios gets ready. Shot in there. Hot pass. Late pad save. Back to the line again. Suter drifted one in. Back it comes. Chelios again. Save in front. And the fade is going to send the Blackhawks back after it. Belfour couldn't find it. Berg picked it up. Hit the back of the net with that pass. 30 seconds gone, and the Leaf penalty. The fans trying to get their Blackhawks on the scoreboard. It is Roenick now, and he's stopped. Osborne sweeping it down the ice. Belfour coming out, and he saves Chelios 30 feet. It didn't matter because Chelios decided to go all the way back anyway. Working it out very slowly, has to turn again against Osborne. Now he hands it off to Murphy. And he comes to center with a pass to the far side, and Suter tried to shoot it in. Here's Chelios. Shot blocked. Big rebound. Leafs clear. 55 seconds left in the penalty to Mike Gartner of Toronto. The Leafs are leading 1-0. Chicago moving up. Here's center ice. Gary Suter. Rudy didn't expect the pass. It's in back of the net where Ellett had to watch his man come in. There's a clearing pass by Berg off the boards and down the ice. 30 seconds left in the penalty. Chicago stymied by Toronto's checking. And Suter to center ice. Pass goes into Eisenbart and is shot wide. A big rebound again. Chelios from the blue line shoots. And he missed the net. Berg is going to clear it. 10 seconds left in the penalty. Leafs, excellent killing penalties tonight. Potvin will see this one go over the glass to his right into the crowd. 3 seconds left in the penalty.
This portion of Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC was brought to you in part by Ford of Canada, where quality is job one.
Bob Cole and Harry Neal with Ron McLean and Don Cherry and the Hockey Night in Canada crew. Coast to coast, nice to have you with us. It is Chicago and Toronto in Game 5. Leafs are at full strength again. Toronto can send Chicago home with a win here tonight. Gilmore intercepting a pass. Here's Gardner. Back to Andrechuk. Shoots. That is blocked in front of Belfort. And Green will bring it out for Chicago. He gets to center. And then short to an open wing. That's no problem for Lefay. And McCown's pass. Gardner was in too quickly. Couldn't pick it up. Gets another crack at it. And he's stopped by Brent Sutter, who comes up with a long shot. That's no problem for Potvin. And he falls on it with Cunninworth coming in. 1-0 Toronto, nearing the 4-minute mark of the second.
Well, Chicago looks to me like they're lacking a little energy. I know that they certainly didn't come out and start the way they started games 3 and 4 here. It's discouraging when you outshoot the opposition 13-6 and are down 1-0. But they are on the wrong end of more hits than they're on the right end, and that's sometimes the sign they're low on energy.
Chicago power play a little over 15% coming into this game. That's not very good, Harry. And you look at the stats, the Leafs 9 for 31, and the Hawks 4 for 29. Big difference. Playoff hockey, you gotta get them while you can. The Leafs have the only one on the board so far in this hockey game, even though they're outshot 16-6. Face off deep in the Leaf zone to the left of Felix Potvin. This is Shantz. He's out. Dubinsky goes in to take the draw against Vanderbilt. Chicago win it. Now there's a chance for Wilkinson to put one on the net right off the bat, and he hooked it high into the crowd.
Well, it must have hit a Leaf on the way because its face-off is not outside. But then the Chicago used a strange lineup there. They left the 3 forwards, 3 across, and moved Wilkinson into the slot. Now, I haven't seen them do that with Suter, who might score from there. A little doubt whether Wilkinson will.
Freud getting it together against San Jose. 6-1. And that's getting close to being over that game. This one, we're in the second period. 3.5 minutes in. Toronto 1, Chicago 0. Leafs very disciplined. Spreading out, passing it around, clearing it out well. This one had to be shot down the ice with Chicago attacking. Belfort might have to play it. He does. Pearson would have been in there to pick it up. Dubinsky fell. Shantz left it at center. Here's Smith coming over the line, and that's offside. Rich Sutter ahead of him on that play. And stopping that rush.
For those who like to spend lots of time and effort cleaning, shining, and protecting your tires, this is going to be difficult to watch. Because with no-touch tire care, you don't need to rub or wipe your tires to make them look great. It's true. You just spray it on and leave it alone. No touching. Now, we know it's hard, but you've got to fight it. Come on, you can do it. That's good. No-touch tire care. The right touch is no touch.
April's taste of the month is McDonald's new Double Big Mac.
First floor.
with 4 100% all-beef patties.
Second floor.
It's a little taller than the regular Big Mac.
Third floor.
The new great-tasting Double Big Mac.
Fourth floor.
Recommended for those with big appetites and who aren't afraid of heights.
At McDonald's today.
Do you remember the roar? Well, look, the shots are 16-6 in favor of the Hawks. The chances to score 8-4 in favor of the Hawks. 5 of those 8 for the Hawks came on the power play.
Peter Zezel lost the puck at center. Carney shot it in. Bruin took a shot. Sharp angle shot, though. And Potvin just stood there against the post. Leafs get it back out. Up to center and coming in. Osborne letting one fly at Balfour. Gary Suter around the net. Slipped the pass ahead. Eisenbart can't catch up to it. It is Gilmore coming in for Toronto. He has Clark and Borchevsky there. There's Clark. Took a whack at it. Balfour doesn't like it. The puck was high, and Balfour grabbed it. He's out talking to Andy Van Hellemond now, and Clark tried to knock it out of the air.
Well, I think Andy's telling him, look at Mr. Balfour, you hadn't had it in your glove when he thought he could get a stick on it. There it is right there. Balfour didn't like it. He was run about 8 times in Game 5. That hasn't happened at all tonight. Chicago needs something to get him going. They can't seem to get the goal, but they've drifted into a bit of a state of complacency here, and not much energy when I look at their bench, and not much more of any more when they get out on the ice.
Gilmore won the face-off. Balfour made the save. Will he drop it? I don't think so. Gilmore was right behind him, and he knew that.
Well, Doug Gilmore playing on a leg and a half, we know that. It's almost impossible to keep this guy out of a game. And I think really what he did, Bob, was talk him into letting them play. I know I mentioned to Gilmore this morning, I said, geez, if you could only win tonight, maybe, and you couldn't play, you get 2 days off. And he looked at me and he says, if I play and we win tonight, we get 5 days off. So you know what his thinking was.
Toronto leads 1-0. Coming up to the 5-minute mark of the second period at Chicago. There's Gilmore picking it up, centering it. Gill! That's stopped. The Leafs are on a goal. Gill fires it back to the net. It is Gilmore back there. Gilmore centered one, and 3 Hawks were in front of the goal to clear it away. Rain gets it ahead. Down across center is Cunninworth, and he's knocked to the ice. Play goes right on, and the Toronto Maple Leafs come up with it. Wendell Clark can't knock down that high pass from Gilmore. Chelios to Graham. Graham picks his way to center. Put it up to Cunninworth and back to Graham with Sutter in front of the net. Sutter right in there. And now Chelios at the blue line. Shot tipped in front of the goal. Brent Sutter is stopped by Potvin. He was in very close with 2 chances and could not score.
You're looking at one Canadian. In a year when 400,000 were born, 500,000 started school, and even more started university. Now this little Canadian may seem, well, little. But to Royal Bank, he has a big future. A future his parents have started with our Young Savers account. True, we have 8 million other customers, but we got to be Canada's largest bank, one customer at a time.
Chelios looks like Sylvester Stallone after one of those fights in Rocky 1, 2, 3, or 4. Might feel like it too. What a hit he took from Wendell Clark.
Eisenbart, I think, will take the face-off. Ruju has been waved down. Yes, Eisenbart against Zezel. Zezel is great at winning these face-offs. Here's another. And the Leafs, because of it, get the clearing play. But it could be icing. Will be icing. Carney getting in there ahead of the Leaf player.
The Leafs have done a nice job tonight of dumping the puck into the neutral zone and taking the odd icing like that one. It's a lot safer to start with a face-off because you can change your lines if Pat Burns wants to, and you're not running around in your own zone. And as a result of this tactic, the Leafs are doing so well tonight. There's been very little heavy forechecking by the Hawks. They're not a team that scores on the rush as often as they do on the turnover off the forecheck.
Chicago has to be careful. The Leafs have been very stingy with goals. Blackhawks got 1 in the first game and none in the second. And of course they were shut out in Game 5 at Toronto. Toronto was up 1-0, nearing the 6-minute mark of the second period. Barbaros on the boards with it. They clear it back out again. Vanderbilt fell. Poulin shot it in for the Blackhawks. It is centered by Ruutu, but Toronto was on it in their own zone. And again, they get it out over the line. Up the center, Pearson slapped it along the blue line, and Eastwood was trying to get off. But he circles and stays on. Mironov hopped over the boards. Chicago has to start from deep. Up the center. Weinrich shot in, wide of the net, off the boards, hoping for a decent rebound. Chicago moving up there, but Mironov takes it, goes the other way. Smith was waiting for it, but Eastwood is there on him, and he gets it out. Chicago lay it back in. They were changing goal. Vanderbilt, he's nailed at center. Had the hit down for a split second. Here's Murphy coming in on goal. And he was stopped. Potvin was hit, driven into the net. The net went flying, and Potvin hurt his left leg, I think, and is slow to get up. Big hit at center ice, and Vanderbilt created that surge by Murphy.
And that's the first time this series we've seen Joe Murphy go wide and make a play. And it came off a great body check by Greg Smith on Vanderbilt. That caused the turnover, and here's Murphy. Gets that left leg out and lets a backhand go as he gets a step on Mironov, but the puck never did get in before or after the net came off. There's that left leg that protects the puck and allowed Murphy to get the backhand away, but it wasn't where he wanted to put it. The score remains 1-0. Vanderbilt took an awful thump there, but doesn't look any worse for it.
Toronto 1, Chicago 0. 6 minutes, 38 seconds into the second period at the Chicago Stadium. The Leafs could win the series with a victory tonight, and they keep clearing it out. Smith coming back in front of his own net, now around it. Chased by Osborne. Had to hurry a pass, and Berg was waiting for it. He put it in deep. Wilkinson behind the net for Chicago now. And he wants to skate out with it, and will. Nice pass down the wing. Amandi's shot right on. Potvin had the angle covered. Here's Roenick now. He looks like he's all fired up on this shift. High shot is wide to the net, and Smith will keep it in. Back of the net, and out front it comes again. Roenick ran into Lefebvre. Roenick takes the puck for Chicago. He's turning away from Lefebvre. Tried to poke it in front. McCown was there, and Cooley played it over to the boards, and out is Berg through on the left. Berg coming in with McCown. Berg! And Belfort stopped him. At 2-on-1 by Toronto. McCown and Berg. Berg made 2 or 3 looks to McCown and decided to shoot it himself. And Belfort made the stop.
What happens when a viper sheds its skin? Presenting the new 300 horsepower V10 Dodge Ram. The first truck that lives up to the name. Pickup.
At Esso's Research Center in Sarnia, we have a unique capability in Canada to make a top-quality engine oil. We're trying to simulate the temperatures that are representative of the Canadian environment. If the oil can survive under those conditions, it's going to survive in the real world. Consumers can be assured that by using ProTech, they will get maximum engine protection and long and reliable engine life.
Esso's committed to their customers and committed to giving them the best.
ProTech, the leader in protection, is available from your Esso retailer and at these fine stores.
Wilkinson standing in, trying to intercept the pass in the air. A bad gamble. That gives the 2-on-1. I think Burke changed his mind. It's well played by Smith, who said to Belfour, I'll take the pass, you take the shooter. Berg, I think, wanted to pass it. He was on the wrong wing and probably should have shot with that better angle with the puck on the inside rather than outside his body.
Face off to the left of Belfour. Gill stops it, drills a shot. It was deflected and just missed the net. Belfour lost it for a second, but it went wide of the goal. Still 1-0 Toronto. Coming up to 8 minutes of play in the second period. The Blackhawks having a tough time getting out now. Gartner is in there with Andrechuk. And here comes Clark. Chasing Chelios. Chelios got the pass away. Green can't reach that second pass. And Potvin will fall on it. 8 minutes now exactly. Gone in the second.
Well, as usual, the goaltenders are the main attractions in the playoffs. Belfour has played exceptionally well in games that they haven't won. And Potvin has really been the difference in the game they've won. Here's a little summary. Potvin 2 shutouts. He's allowed 10 goals. This is nearly halfway through game 6. He's had to stop a few less shots than Belfour. But there's no complaint about these two guys. Chelios has been hit 50 times this series, and Andrechuk throws a nice body check on him there. If you'll notice tonight, Bob, Chelios' shifts are not as long.
They win the face-off, and Weinrich gets the screen shot, and somehow Potvin saw it at the last second. That glove hand of Potvin's is very, very quick.
And taking Chelios' spot with Suter is Weinrich. How did he get his eye on this one? But he got his glove on it enough to deflect it up out of the ring. Shots from the point are dangerous when they go through all those sticks, feet, shins.
There were 7 players in front of him on that shot from the blue line. Now that's a screen. And he saw it at the last second. Marvelous stop. 21-10 of the shots in favor of Chicago. But it's Toronto with the only goal in the game. Gardner at 14:49 of the first period. From Elliott Mironov on a power play. Brent Sutter shoots it in. Potvin again hanging on to this. The Chicago player came in rather quickly. Cunninworth. And the lead players do not like that. Green. Push behind the net.
Now remember, the referees went to the coaches and said there was too much goalie interference in game 5. And I'm telling both of you, tell your players when they go to the net, they must make an obvious attempt not to run into the goalie. And that's exactly what happened on that play. The Chicago player tried to put the brakes on and came to a stop right here. It's a blizzard. They don't mind giving the goalie the blizzard to put up with, but they don't want the thunder to come later. Potvin didn't like it much. Ice chips in his eyes at the moment.
Face off to the right of the Leaf goal. Andy Van Helleman, senior referee, National Hockey League Officials Association, here tonight with Lazarowicz and Finn. Rick Sutter steals the puck, tried to get behind the net. Pushed in along the boards, squeezed out, and McCown takes it. Shoots it to the line, trying to get it out. Leafs keep trying to dump it away with Chicago pressing, looking for a goal. But they have been unable to get one tonight so far. So far being 9 minutes of play in the second period. Rick Sutter in there again for checking. And the Leafs once more dump it down the ice. And Chicago bring it back in. Through 2. He'll find a little room to move in there. Burr's got back. Here's Weinrich getting a shot and miss. Rebound, Reisenberg. It's tipped out over the line. Gary Suter had backed up a bit. Toronto coming back out. Rouse takes it from McCown. Got rid of it. Up to center is Gartner. Weaving through a couple of players until Chelios spotted him and nailed him. There's Chelios again. A light hit from Gardner. The pass to Ronick. Ronick comes in. Can't get the shot through. And Toronto again will clear it out. Clark got the center. Ronick caught him. Gilmore to Clark. Can't get the shot. Good play by Murphy, who was back there. Now Clark hopped over his stick. And he was hit hard. Chelios hit Clark. Jeremy Ronick, Clark lined him up. And belted him on the boards. He got rid of it, though. And Chicago tried to shoot it in from center. Amaki is turning. Flipped it over the line, and here's LaFay back up to Gilmore. Gilmore just rolled it in along the boards, and he is going off. 9:35 remaining in the second period. Chelios bumped by Andrechuk. Green backhands it in across the Leaf blue line, and now it back with it. Brent Sutter chasing him. Andrechuk missed it. Shot by Smith. That's deflected wide of the Leaf net. The Blackhawks on it again. Knocked down in front, Brent Sutter. But Elliott covered him. Borchevsky gets rid of it. That was Hendrickson being dumped inside the Chicago line, but he's on there. Borchevsky couldn't go in with him. Andrechuk and Smith collide heavily and have words. They might be called. No, the play goes right on. It is Dirk Green inside the line. It comes back out. They're roughing it up again. Wow, Green nailed Todd Gill at center. And the play is called on the offside. Smith and Andrechuk still show signs of maybe wanting to go at it. They're apart. The crowd is standing. They're hitting again. It's 1-0 Toronto.
Well, that's the best physical shift the Hawks have had for a while. Dirk Graham throws a nice body check on Todd Gill. Todd knew it was coming and couldn't do a thing about it. Dave Andrechuk is throwing a couple of heavy checks tonight. And here he and Smith are jousting. Be careful now, Dave. Be careful. Smith's a tough cookie. Remember this. There's more truth in one sword than in 10,000 words.
8 minutes and 40 seconds left in the second period. 21-9. Chicago has outshot Toronto, but it's 1-0 Maple Leafs. The deciding game in this series of the Leafs win. Game 7 back at Maple Leaf Gardens on Saturday in Chicago wins. Carney behind his own net. Chicago has some going to do. I thought the Ronick line was all afire on their last turn. But it's Rich Sutter coming in for Chicago now with Yzerman chasing the puck. It comes off the boards and out. Cleared in front. And once again the Leafs are there to bring it out. Vanderbilt flipped it ahead for Pearson, but he had to stop at the blue line. Or else it would have been offside. Suter skating away and picking up a little speed as he gets to center. Good move of Pearson. He's in there. But Mironov caught him and he fell to the ice. Mironov made sure he didn't move. And the puck is in on the boards underneath the Chicago player. And again, they call the play.
The Molson Canadian Stanley Cup Contest. Win a trip to 2 1994 Stanley Cup games and a chance to shoot for $1 million. Or win one of over 500,000 official NHL prizes. Scratch the neck label or call for details on entry without purchase. The Molson Canadian Stanley Cup Contest. Take your best shot.
It was the first car built in Canada to capture the imagination of the world. The Chrysler Intrepid, with revolutionary cab-forward design, spacious interior, wider track for sportier handling, and standard dual airbags. And now Canada's best just got better, with 4-speed automatic, air, power windows and locks, tilt steering, speed control, stereo cassette, and more. Canada's best for just $19,594. Only at your local Chrysler dealer, a dealer you can believe in.
You want to know why Eddie Belfour is one of the best goalies in the league? Look what he had to say after Game 5, letting in 1 goal, having stopped 36 Leaf shots, and 8 Leafs slid into him. And Potvin had a nice comeback. He said, when you're at the other end watching this, and you're watching Eddie Belfour play so well, and you only get 17 shots, it's a tough assignment to be better than your opposing goalie.
Eddie is skating out of his own net now, coming up to center ice. And he sees something, I believe, on the ice surface. Now there are a pair of eyes for you.
A number of fans have thrown stuff in the ice tonight that look like pennies or dimes in there. That could really hurt a player if he steps on it. I'm sure the fans should think of that.
7:50 left in the second period. Toronto 1, Chicago 0. Gilmore up over the Chicago line. Chelios took it away from him. Tried to get going with a lead pass, didn't work, and the lead stepped back in. Gartner got in front of the net with Zessel setting him up. Chelios to Roenick. Zessel will have to try to contend with Roenick now. That's a tough chore. Amati drives one right at Murphy, though. And it's Clark coming back in. Can't go in there very far with Gartner. Roenick, Legat, Lefebvre has him lined up, and he hit him. Not a hard hit, but he stopped the Chicago player from going in, who is now going off. Gartner tried a shot through. Trickled off to the corner to the left of Belfour. Brent Sutter pass to Green. He's over the line, dropping it back to Sutter, and he ran into a stone wall. Standing up there was Todd Gill. Now Borchevsky coming in with a shot and the rebound. Tried to backhand it on his sharp angle and missed the net. 6:40 left in the second period. Leafs keep it in. Up for long. Chicago get it back to center, but it's Elliott who'll shoot it back in. And coming back is Keith Carney. Brent Sutter up to center. Shoveled it over the line for Graham, but he's offside. Good play, but Graham was just ahead of the puck carrier at the blue line.
Well, the Hawks aren't winning many foot races. Chris Chelios has been hit 13 times tonight. And it's played over 30 minutes in every game. And here's Wendell Clark getting all of Chelios well after the pass. I mean, Chelios is near exhaustion, and why wouldn't you be? He's been on the receiving end. Look at him here. He's in pain. He's tired.
And frustrated.
And one of the great defensemen currently playing in the National League.
What a great shot he is getting it, though. As you mentioned, over 30 minutes every game. Hit every game. Hitting every game. Weinrich shoots it in for Ruutu. Back of the net, Rich Sutter picking it up on the fly. And he tapped it loose. Lefebvre saw it first. Sutter hit him. The Blackhawks can't keep it in. 6 minutes left in the second. Chelios on there again, trying to drift his shot in there. Rich Sutter picked it up and back of the net as Eisebart with Rich Sutter. Gilmore got his stick on it, and very quickly Borchevsky shot it out. There's Lefebvre with Gilmore. Ruutu turns up to Chelios. Roenick is with him and going in hard. Can't center it by Lefebvre, who played him well. Andrechuk for Borchevsky. He's knocked off the puck. Gilmore isn't. He's up there again, offside. Ruutu carries Gilmore across the line and put him offside.
We want to make it perfectly clear. You'll find guaranteed low prices at your Canadian Tire store every day. If you find a better price anywhere, we'll match it. Guaranteed.
The Leafs had a dangerous rush going, but a smart play over at the left edge of your screen there. Ruutu pushed Gilmore over the blue line to cause the offside and took a 2-on-1 break with Andrechuk in charge of the puck away from the Leafs. But take a look at the hot players when they get to the bench. They're dead. I don't notice that at the Leaf bench.
Third period, Detroit upping their lead. And later on, Calgary and Vancouver. CBC bringing you hockey action in the playoffs, 94. And plenty of it. 5:15 left in the second period here at Chicago. This is an icing call against Toronto. That big goal now is looking bigger all the time. Gartner scored it on a Leaf power play in the first at 14:49 from Elliott and Mironov. And it's a 1-0 Toronto lead.
Well, when you saw the summary of last night's Buffalo, New Jersey game, Bob, it must have brought back memories to you as it did to me about that 4-overtimer we did in Washington that Pat LaFontaine broke up. You have to give the Sabres credit. They're on the ropes if they lose the route, and they had 3 goals called back during regulation time and had the guts to come up with getting the 4th. Dave Hannon, former Leaf, got the goal that won the game.
Jim Chance won the face-off. Chicago moving up. Poulin picked it up and flipped it back to the net for Chance. Back to Poulin. He's down on his knees. Roenick getting double shifted now. Roenick turns in the corner. Back to the line where Carney was waiting. It is Poulin trying to center it. Roenick comes in to take charge. Out front, Poulin, the puck there loose in front of Potvin. Chicago keep it in. Poulin missed it. Roenick got it. Tapped away by Vanderbilt. Now Roenick shot it in, and Vanderbilt hit Roenick through the beat over there at the Chicago bench. It was open, and Roenick, who was going off, got off earlier than he expected. Toronto keeping the puck in. Here's a chance. That shot knocked down. Rebound. And Balfour grabbed it as Vanderbilt got loose for the shot. And then he and Honeyworth bumped once or twice. Officials are there. No further play.
Why waste time with a tractor like this when you can own a Mastercraft tractor from Canadian Tire? It has shift on the go to perform smoothly in tight areas without stopping, so you can finish your lawn in no time, which, all things considered, makes buying a Mastercraft tractor sound pretty good. Mastercraft, the only tractors with a 4-year warranty. There's a lot more to Canadian Tire for a lot less.
No, not the chicken! It's the chicken! Run!
Where's everybody? Simple. People are bored with chicken. That's why Subway has our original turkey breast sub. It's oven-roasted turkey on fresh baked bread with all the trimmings. So if you're tired of the same old chicken, Subway's talking turkey.
The original turkey breast sub at Subway, the place where fresh is the taste.
This is the best part.
Coming up during the second intermission after 40 minutes with Ron McLean. Tonight, Ron talks with Jamie McCown. And we're going to hear a little more about the Vancouver-Calgary series. Ken Daniels is standing by out there and will bring us up to date. Of course, they go at it again tonight. Toronto leads this hockey game 1-0 with 4:23 left in the second period. Mike Gardner's goal in the first at 14:49 on a Leaf power play. Shot from the blue line, and he tipped it in. Ella took the shot. Gardner's stopping this one. Here's Clark coming in there. Balfour way out of the net to poke it away. Now Gardner's shot. Knocked down in front and cleared out over the line. Todd Gill from center. Put it to the boards in the corner. Balfour tried to stop it, missed it. The Leafs shoot it behind the net. Chelios took a quick look around, and there's Clark again. All over Chelios. Gilmore getting the puck. He and Clark with Brent Sutter trying to shoot it out and can't. Chelios will have to hustle. He wants to move this away. Picks it up, and now is checked. And Green roll the puck to center. 3:35 left in the second. High one shot in from center ice by Rouse. Chicago trying to move it out. Sutter gets it to the line, and here's Suter coming in. Drill the shot at Potvin, looked very poised. Caught that, and watch Brent Sutter skate right into him.
Well, Gary Suter's actually played a little more tonight than has Chelios, but look at him. Look at his face. He's a dead man as far as his energy level's concerned. Detroit makes it go 7 games as the San Jose Sharks lose 7-1. San Jose trying to be the first expansion team since 1967, other than the New York Islanders in '75, to win the first round of the first playoff. They get in.
Brent's coach, Daryl Sutter, looking out. Talked to his brother, Brent. And he comes out to take this face-off again, wondering if anybody can put one by Potvin. The second period is winding down. And Burns has his team protecting that one-goal lead. 3:15 left in the second. Osborne jumped to the head. There's Brent Sutter coming in after it. Graham taken in on the boards by Lefebvre. McCown was bumped by Cunneyworth. And here's Cunneyworth with the puck. But McCown got back to stop him. Green went in there with a big hit. Long shot. Rebound is there, but not for long. Potvin juggled it and then made sure he held on to it. And two Hawks were right in on top of him.
And all this problem started because Mark Osborne could not get the puck out of the zone when it came around the boards. I've mentioned many times tonight how well the Leafs have done that. This time Osborne couldn't do it. It's not something you can do every time. The puck was kicked back in, and then Bill Berg had a chance to get it out on the other side of the rink, and he's tied up by Randy Cunneyworth. The boards. You have to control the boards in your own zone, or this is the thing that happens. A shot from the point hits the Leaf player Lefebvre right in the chest and almost goes in.
But it does not go in. And only 2 minutes and 53 seconds left in the second period. Felix Potvin, 23 saves so far in the game. The Leafs have had 12 shots in this hockey game. Finn is down there talking to Ed Belfour. And here's a trick or two coming, I believe. Eddie Belfour talking about the goal stick. And now, I believe, something on the ice in the crease area.
Well, there's a hole or a slice in the net, or in the goal area right outside the crease. And Belfour, we know that's where he lives. So.
I wonder who put the cut on the ice.
Well, you know, goalies, they want that crease area smooth so they can slide sideways on their skates. And if they hit a rut, they're down before they want to.
As we mentioned, later tonight, Calgary at Vancouver in Game 6. Following this hockey game, and tomorrow, this series going 7. The Canadiens and the Bruins at the Boston Garden, 7:30 Eastern Time tomorrow. 1-0 Toronto leading Chicago here in Game 6 at the Chicago Stadium. Roenick, Amati, and Murphy, Chelios and Suter. And Darryl Sutter can't do any better than that. 5 guys in front of Ed Belfour, but the Leafs are coming in. Shot is blocked by Chelios. Amati overskates it. Murphy was behind him, and he shot it over the Leaf line. The fade back. He has to hustle, and he got it ahead to Osborne. He just skated a few feet and then gave it to Zezel. Zezel and Berg over the line, and Zezel shoots it in deep. Chelios is bumped immediately. Chicago players back to pick it up and coming out with it. Amati, but a penalty behind the play, I think. Berg was upended, yes, and it's going to be Murphy, I believe. It'll be interference as the Leafs were moving back to catch Chicago, and Berg was dumped.
Berg was sent flying. Murphy trying to run a little interference to give the Hawks a better chance of clearing the zone on the breakout. And here it is right here. You see the pass is up on the wing to Amante. Murphy puts a stick between his legs and knocks Berg down. Not a bright penalty to take when you're down 1-0 in maybe the last game of the season for you with 2:20 to go in the second period. Accidental, perhaps.
The Yoder may fire in the east lot. The red Toyota Camry, license ZXH.
The Leafs power play has been dynamite this series. They have 9 power play goals out of the 15 they've scored.
866, please go to your car immediately.
Ellett drives his shot at Belfour. He stopped it. Toronto has a power play goal in this game. And the only goal in this game. Gartner in the first at 14:49, and here they're on a power play again with 2:07 left in the second period. And Murphy in the box for interference.
This is the time that a little guy like Borshevsky, a little more ice, a little more time when you get the puck, and not as many guys trying to knock you down. Gartner has got the only goal of the game, and it's beginning to look like a touchdown.
Andrechuk, Gilmore, Borshevsky, Mironov, and Ellen. Chicago in a hole right here as the second period winds down. Hard to forget about trying to tie it up before this period is out now and concentrate on stopping the Leafs on the power play. Only 1:50 left in the period. Minute and a half from the penalty. Toronto to center. High one goes in. Belfour watching the hop. Comes out and Cooley puts it off to the boards on the right side. Chelios. I think lots of time in there. Now the play is called. Of course, that was the delayed call on the offside with a minute 38 seconds left in the period.
Chelios is lobbying Andy Van Hellemond for an intentional touch of the puck when the delayed offside was on. But Andy says you could have touched it yourself, Chris, or walked out with it or iced it. You didn't. You were stalling for time. That doesn't mean it's intentional when touched by the Leafs.
A very concerned Daryl Sutter, Chicago bench. And well, he might be. Team down 1-0. And the Leafs now on a power play with a minute and a half left of the period. Here's the pass in front, and Clark tipped it high. He was coming in front and got a stick on it. Clark says he didn't. Andy Van Hellemond, I believe, says he did, which would mean the faceoff would come outside the line, and he talks to the two linesmen now, and apparently faceoff is going to be inside to the right of Belfour.
Well,
so it hit a Chicago player.
The pass across hit Eddie Belfour's stick. Wendell wanted to tip it, but before it got to Wendell's stick, it hit Belfour's stick. On a pass, there's Wendell coming, and you can see it hit Chelios. Sorry on that one.
From the faceoff, Ellen. Pass ahead to Gilmore. Ellen again with a shot. Gardner was parked in front. Nearly the same play as the Leafs scored in the first period. Here's Gilmore around the net. Trying to work it out front, and the Blackhawks are going to pick it up and shoot it down the ice. Ruutu took care of that. We are down to 1 minute left in the second period. 1-0, Toronto leading on a power play. For another 34 seconds, Ellen is stepping over the line. Mironov, big shot. Belfour hurt with that one. Hit him on the shoulder, and he's still wincing in pain. Gardner shoots it off the boards. It goes around the net. Belfour was shaken on that hard shot. Green gets it out over the line. 34 seconds left in the period, and Ellen takes it again. 30 seconds left. He shoots it in. Belfour doesn't move this time. Gardner went after it. He's upended. Chicago will get it out to the center ice area. The penalty is over. Murphy on the ice. McCown placed it in there, and Eastwood came close, and then was bumped hard. 3 Chicago players with only 10 seconds left. Murphy played it in. Murphy gets a shot. Hoffman kicked it out back of the net with 3 seconds remaining, and it goes into the corner to the left of Potvin as the siren goes to end the second period here in Chicago. And that first period goal by Mike Gardner has stood up. It was scored at 14:49 of the first on a Leaf power play. The shots 24-14 in favor of Chicago.
Well, the Hawks going down the stairs to the dressing room. Here's the stop you were talking about, Bob, on a bullet shot from Mironov that hit Belfour on the right shoulder. And you can see he's in pain, and he's not sure where the puck is. Here's another look at it, but he recovered fairly quickly. And he'll feel a lot better when period 3 starts. He's done everything you can ask. Belfour has. He can't score.
And a reminder, Jamie McCown will come along to our studio here in Chicago to visit with Ron McLean. The shots in the second period. Chicago outshot Toronto 11-8. It's 1-0 Leafs.
You've heard stories about how fast some North American cars can depreciate. Drive one off the lot, they say, and poof, maybe half the value's gone. Yet those manufacturers want you to think it's a good deal. Well, don't buy it. Don't blow your money away on a good deal like this. Instead, size up a Toyota and check out what it'll be worth on resale compared to one of these.
Check out the resale value on Corolla, only $12,498 or lease from $209 a month during Prairie Toyota Dealers Red Tag Days.
At Home Building Center, we see every home improvement job as a big job. Sir, what does big mean to you?
500 feet of fencing.
Whoa, big plans, man?
Oh yeah, 10 houses to drywall.
Planning a big entrance?
No, I'm putting in a new door.
Oh, right.
If you have big plans, we have friendly advice and a great price.
Like this exclusive Home Building Center plan book featuring 475 great home and cottage designs.
So come to Home Building Center, and more power to you.
Announcing a breakthrough so significant, there are only 2 words for it. The new easy-to-open package for arthritis sufferers. It's so easy, it's commended by the Arthritis Society. Tylenol, the pain reliever that's not a pain to open. Not for homes with young children.
Rangers prefer Michelin's LTX. So do Cherokees. And Broncos. Explorers. Pathfinders. Blazers. There's an LTX for any pickup, van, or 4x4. On road or off. Depend on the LTX Light Truck Series from Michelin.
Thinking of buying a new boat this year? Think of Canada's largest Glastron and Johnson dealer and our special factory purchase. A 17-foot Glastron, a 140 horsepower Johnson, a genuine easy loader trailer, a complete outfit. The very finest performance that's even less than a cheap Brand X boat. Wholesale to you. Save $5,000 at Canada's largest Glastron dealer and Johnson Outboard Specialists. National Marine, next to the airport in Saskatoon.
As time passes by, many things go unnoticed. Well, at Merlin Motors, our used vehicle sales team can see the good from the bad. Our family of salespeople will always take good care of your family's automotive needs. We carry our family values right onto you, our customer. You see, when working for you, we work together. We take care of our family matters because your family matters to all of us at Merlin Motors. Come for a visit. Idlewild Drive North, across from Sask Place.
After 40 minutes. Brought to you by SaskTel.
We're live at Chicago Stadium. 9 games this season in the postseason where goal.
After 40 minutes. Brought to you by SaskTel.
We're live at Chicago Stadium. 9 games this season in the postseason where goalies haven't allowed a goal. Can't use that word, but 12's the record in 92. Felix Potvin at one end doing the job, and Eddie Belfour at the other. Jamie McCown, you've really been tremendous. Tell me about the game tonight.
Well, the game's exactly what we thought it would be. You know, it was going to be a close checking game. We thought, you know, it might be a 0-0 going into the third. Instead, we're up by 1. We're pretty happy about that. I think Felix has played great, and I think the whole team has played pretty well in front of him so far.
Right, I can see you joining the rush, though. Bill Berger was a 2-on-1. He couldn't get it over, and then a nice play to Eastwood. You need that next goal because now the Hawks are going to come out surely with a fury here.
Yeah, you know, but sometimes you can take advantage of that. You know, they know that unless they score in the next 20 minutes, the season's over for them. So they're going to be jumping. Chelios and Suter will be definitely jumping into the play, and if we can catch them going the wrong way, we might be able to put it away a little bit easier for us.
I noticed you out there with both Bob Rouse, but mainly with Sylvain Lefebvre against their top line. What are you doing to nullify them tonight?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we just seem to get in their way a lot. You know, Sylvain and I have played pretty well the whole year and most of last year together, so we know each other pretty well. And you know, knock on wood that you know, things have worked out pretty well for us so far. We've managed to bottle them up, but we're also out there for a lot of the game with Peter Zezel's line, and Billy Berg and Mark Osborne have been doing great as well.
They seem to look a little tired. How are you holding up with all this ice time?
Well, you know, I'm a little tired, but right now, you know, the adrenaline's going, and you know, in 2 hours I'll get tired. But right now I'm pumped and I'm ready to play, and hopefully it's just going to be 20 more minutes.
1988, you had this horrible car crash. For those who don't know your story, it's well known in Calgary, of course, but your arm was a question mark. Didn't know if you'd play again. You come back, great year, win the Stanley Cup in '89. Here you are 6 years later. Is it Cliff Fletcher, your dad Charlie? Who do you think about that got you through that tough time and the way you're going now?
Well, you know, obviously all the family and friends, you know, especially my wife Karen, stuck by me very well. You know, I worked pretty hard and managed to get ready to play in the year before we won the Cup. But Cliff, being the man he was, asked a lot of doctors, and basically he asked if he was your son, would you allow him to play right now? And they decided not to activate me for that year. And the following year, I was, you know, 100% and ready to go. So, you know, I thank Cliff for sticking by me, but especially my family and my friends.
Well done, as they say. It's remarkable to see the way you're playing this year. 11th season in the NHL. Good luck in the third period.
Thank you.
Jamie McCown working on his contract for him there. It's 1-0 Leafs at the end of 2 periods of play here in Game 6 of this conference quarterfinal series. Action's underway at the Pacific Coliseum, where the Canucks rallied in Calgary and now have a big chance at home to square the affair. We'll go there for action in the first period when we continue with our coverage of the 1994 Stanley Cup playoffs on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC.
We need an 800 service that delivers more profit more ways.
If I could afford an 800 number, I'd have one.
Why can't we have just one 800 number for Canada and the U.S.?
Introducing Advantage 800 service. Give your bottom line the advantage. SaskTel Advantage.
After 40 minutes. Brought to you by SaskTel.
Friday on Midday, writer Susan Haley has a new book about romance, the Arctic, and how to start a charter airline.
And the Eagles soar again on the Entertainment Week in Review.
From the producer of Aliens and the Terminator. Welcome to a prison with just one rule. Survival of the fittest. No guards. No walls. No escape.
You want it? Come and get it! No!
Starts Friday, April 29th at theaters everywhere.
Puma. It's here. Premier Wild Oat and Green Foxtail Control with the widest window of application from the 1 to 6 leaf stage up to emergence of the 3rd tiller. The freedom to tank mix for nearly every broadleaf weed under the sun. The flexibility to spray your spring wheat or durum. That's new post-emergent Puma from Agriva. More power to you.
I tried to stop.
I just kept going back.
I can't control myself.
What's harder to resist than Orville Redenbacher's buttered popcorn? New Redden Butters. More buttery taste than you can imagine. Drizzled over every square inch of Orville's butterfly kernels.
I love it.
In 2 irresistible flavors, movie theater butter and zesty butter. New Redden Butters.
It's cool.
Take a seat for a hot new movie at Cineplex and save $2 on your ticket with a specially marked pack of Dentyne. Dentyne, breathe easy, breathe icy, and save $2 on a movie.
Deep cold. When overworked muscles or back pain hits, ice the pain with the cold treatment recommended by chiropractors. Deep cold therapy.
You know, a healthy smile is the most important thing you can own, and just about anybody can have one. Like Julie and Greg. They always brush thoroughly. And Jim, what a great smile. Don't forget your dentist appointments, girls. Max and Bo have great teeth. The moral of my story is, if you got 'em, blossom. April is Dental Health Month, so take time for a chew shine. Keep smiling. A message from Smiling Bob and your dentist.
From the Windy City to the West Coast, where Don Whitman and Jim Poplinski are describing the scoreless first period there.
And at this time, we say hello to the folks who've been watching the game between Chicago and Toronto. The Maple Leafs leading by a score of 1-0. We've played 2 minutes and 10 seconds of the opening period here at the Pacific Coliseum. Still no score between the Vancouver Canucks and the Calgary Flames. I'm Don Whitman along with Jim Poplinski and Ken Daniels at the Pacific Coliseum. And the Canucks, 2-1 overtime winners, trying to send it back to Calgary. Here's Fleury moving in, and Fleury is checked. A good recovery by Charbonneau. Reichel loses it behind the net. Hedeken is checked by Fleury. Brown took a look, now decided to try and come out the same side and moves it to Courtnall. Courtnall is checked by Roberts, and it's knocked back in offside.
Well, you look at home ice advantage in this series, it hasn't meant a whole heck of a lot. The Calgary Flames have had great success at the Pacific National Coliseum. So far, in 5 meetings, they have not posted an L. The second column that keeps track of wins and losses. Theron Fleury with an opportunity here. He steals it at the blue line. Don't be caught standing still and try and beat a guy that's quick with a stick like Fleury. Unfortunately for Charbonneau, Fleury tries to get a little too fancy and he doesn't shoot the puck. Wanted to find some open net. It's a simple game. We talked about desperation hockey at the start of this hockey game, Don, and when you get inside the blue line, you're shooting the puck and looking to pick up rebounds or score on that initial opportunity.
Theron Fleury, the leading scorer for the Flames in the series, 4 goals and 3 assists. Joe Nieuwendyk was injured late in the second period in Game 4. But when the series returned to Calgary, he was able to dress. However, Joel Otto, who was injured just seconds after Nieuwendyk went down, has not been able to come back. Dave King still holds out hope that he may be able to play if there should be a 7th game. Wes Walz tried to center. Ronning is checked. Nieuwendyk has it. Back to the point for Musil. All Musil could do was dump it to the corner. Stern takes a hit along the boards. Walz trying to free it for Nieuwendyk is checked, and Ronning can't move it out. Picked up by Walz. Back to the point. Long shot by McInnes. It's gloved and held by Kirk McLean.
Reminder, every province but Manitoba goes there right after our game in Chicago for the rest of the story in Vancouver. Manitoba, you get primetime news, and then we'll go to the Pacific Coliseum. Detroit bombs San Jose 7-1. Cicerelli 3 points. Yzerman had a pair. Paul Coffey had 2 assists. That's even, and they'll play Saturday night to decide things at Joe Louis Arena. Mike Gartner's the only goal of the game so far. His first of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Leafs trying to win it in 6 on the road where no one has won in this series. More on Molson Hockey Night in Canada on CBC after this.
It looks European. Yeah. Definitely European in style.
He hugs you. There's lots of room.
It's very inviting and comfortable.
Transversely mounted V6.
If I want to be by myself, I won't go upstairs and read. I will go for a drive. It would be a winding road, trees, mountains. There would have to be water.
I love the way this thing corners.
Responses in this car are smooth.
I could drive this car all day.
You just made a dream come true. Pepsi Max.
It's new. All the taste of regular cola and 1/3 the calories.
Yeah, sure.
Tastes good, that's all I know.
Gull la beau.
Can't you just enjoy it without the analysis, Sigmund?
What do you think stops some crazy bigwig at Pepsi from just printing up a bunch of false labels?
Jail.
Oh, brother, you are so naive.
New Pepsi Max.
Could you get him a fork?
All the taste, 1/3 the calories.
Hello! Today's the day you can clean up on the year's hottest video.
My first day as a woman, I'm getting hot flashes.
It's Robin Williams.
Dad?
Like you've never seen him before.
I think you'll be very pleased with me. I've been through some really interesting changes.
And it's a steal at $24.98 or less.
Back off! I am not a crook. Oh, how lovely.
Buy Mrs. Doubtfire today.
Excuse me, what do you think about the shape of Kellogg's Rice Krispies?
I don't know, it looks oval.
Let me put this grain of rice next to it. Notice anything?
No.
You may have noticed that they're both shaped like rice, because each Kellogg's Rice Krispies is made with a real grain of wholesome rice.
Rice Krispies is made with rice?
The heck did you think it was made with?
What the heck did you think it was made with?
Welcome back to the Chicago Stadium. Bob Cole and Harry Neal in the booth, high above the ice surface here at this great old building. And will this be the last game here in this great old building? No scoring in the second period. The only goal of the game by Mike Gardner in the first on a Leaf power play at 14:49. The shots in the game 24-14 on these two goalies. 11 away in the second period in favor of Chicago.
Scoring chances after 2 periods. Toronto 12, Chicago 10.
All right. Chicago is looking at 20 minutes of hockey. They'll do it, or they'll be done. 1-0 Toronto. Third period is underway. Lefebvre and McCown pass it back and forth. And it's shot from center ice down into the Chicago zone. Belfour smartly playing it on the boards. Brent Sutter couldn't stop it though. Here's Gilmore stealing it, dropping it back to Gardner. He's bowled over before he could get any wood on that shot. Clark ended up in the net behind Belfour. Chicago's Chelios in. Deflected shot to the glass to the left of Putman. Clark back in his own zone. Turning around with Gilmore coming out with a puck to center. And he dumped it in and is going off. With the puck as he was trying to get to the Leaf bench. Roenick takes a smack from 2 Leaf players. Clark and Osborne. Here's Sutter. Faked the backhander. Worked it loose at the side of the net. Back of the goal. That's Amandi. Murphy missed it. Roenick there. Murphy took a slash at it. It comes out in front of the net, and the Leafs' Wendell Clark got it away. Osborne to center. And his shot didn't get too far. Now his second attempt right on the net. Belfour the stop. Chicago starting up slowly. Amandi hopping away from a hit. But the Leafs take the puck, and it's played inside the Chicago line again. Toronto changing quickly now. Minute and a half into the third period. Poulin down the left wing boards. Gets over the line. 2 Leafs are on him. Couldn't shoot it at the net. Ruutu trying to center it. It's on the top of the net. Putman was down. He saw it up there. And the Leaf player, Dave Ellett, made sure it stayed there, put his glove on it. The play had been called.
Well, I think the Leafs are going to stay in their counterpunch mode, not get too anxious about forechecking in case they lose 3 men. Chip it into the neutral zone, hoping the Hawks make a bad pinch and they get a 2-on-1. If the Leafs score next, it's hard to believe the Hawks will have any chance at getting 3 goals to win this game. Mike Gardner just made a strong defensive play to hustle back and take a dangerous 3-on-2 away from the Blackhawks.
Chicago has Ruutu, Poulin, and Isobar. Eastwood on the face-off with Vanderbilt and Pearson. Shot down the ice again. Wilkinson, the defenseman, back. Smith is the other defenseman for Chicago. Wilkinson's pass. That was a good one for Poulin. Wilkinson following up. Put it in over the Leaf line, and Dave Ellett found the opening to get it back out. Wilkinson has to hurry back. So does Smith. Vanderbilt showing big hustle going after it. Rouse kept it in. Wilkinson for Chicago. And here's Smith. Pearson watching him. Poulin waited for the pass. Then couldn't do much with it. Lefebvre to Pearson. That's broken up. Chicago shoot it in. Icing waved off. Lefebvre has to hurry back. Around the net he goes. Coming out with a pass. Now this will be icing. Chelios comes back. We played 2 minutes and 38 seconds of the third period. We'll be back.
Hey, this new Pepsi Max is really something, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it tastes of regular cola and a third of the calories.
I'll grab that for a second.
Yeah, sure.
What are you doing?
I want to see if they filled it up a third.
Can't you just enjoy the taste
It's
without...
the only way to explain this calorie thing.
You're not going to open it, are you?
Oh, don't worry. You see, the lower pressure created by the chilling will keep the expansionary forces of the carbon dioxide at bay.
Who's going to open it?
It's elementary.
New Pepsi Max.
Oh, jeez.
All the taste, 1/3 the calories.
Todd Gill back of his own net as the Leafs win the draw in their own zone. Chelios trapped it at the blue line and sent it deep again. Gill hangs on to it. And he decides to go to the left side. Got the pass through all right. And the Leafs shoot it down the ice. Another icing call, I do believe, against Toronto. Back in 1951, this gentleman, the late Bill Barocco, scored an overtime win for Toronto in a Stanley Cup. We'll remind you that tonight's game is sponsored by Household, providing financial services for the family. Were you there that night?
I was there that night. I was about that kid's age, right there, sitting with my dad, South End Blues. That's the end of the rink Barocco scored in. Toronto Maple Leafs, I can still see him pouring over the boards to jump and congratulate Barocco.
McNeil, the goalie for
Jerry McNeil, right on.
Here's a pass near the blue line. Suter shot through a screen and nearly found the far side. Chelios let one fly. Suter is going to get another crack at it. Here it is. Stopped in front by Gilmore. Now Chelios. Great pressure by Chicago now. It's not out by Chelios. Intercepted by Clark. Elliott shoots at the center. Right on the net. Amandi picked it up and gave it away. Gilmore for Clark. Shoots. That's stopped by Chelios. Chicago had a good flurry moments ago. They're trailing Toronto 1-0. 3:40 gone in the third period. Up for Gary Suter. Now he's going in again. But he's checked finally by Berg. And the Leafs get it up to Zenzel. Zenzel shot off the boards for Gartner. Rick Sutter upended. Belfour covering on that sharp angle shot. Weinrich turns. He's given a ride along the boards. Goes to Suter with the puck. And here's Amandi tipping it down the ice again. Amandi's stopped by Osborne at center ice. Suter from center. Dumped it in. He wants to get off. Lefebvre back for Toronto. Bumped by Rick Sutter. Osborne gets it ahead. Kearney stopped him. But here's Gilmore working it in. Gilmore dropped it back. Berg can't reach it. Here's Gilmore. And Belfour has to scramble to his knees to put the catching mitt on that one. And Gilmore coming close, ending up in the net. But the puck stayed out.
The Russians have won the Stanley Cup! The Russians have won the Stanley Cup!
Thanks, boy. I needed that.
Wake up to cool, refreshing Skin Bracer.
Everything I have, I push out front. I'm so humble. Full of humility. I think most of the things that I've always done have been a feeling.
We evolved from the store into the theater. The wonder of the theater is that it can produce so many different types of emotions.
I think American Express gives you a feeling of security.
The card extends beyond simply being a card to buy something with.
American Express is welcomed at all kinds of places, all over Canada. Honest.
No two people are exactly alike.
Hi.
While Bob likes the high gloss shine of original Armor All Protectant, Fred prefers new low gloss Armor All with the rich, deep finish.
I gotta be me.
Either way, it's your choice. Only from Armor All.
A great display of determination by Gilmore even to play this game. And he's manhandled, as most players are anywhere around the Hawk net. Kearney throws him into the net.
Vanderbilt shoots the puck behind the goal for Eastwood. Out front, and Vanderbilt was all alone out there, but the pass was intercepted. Here's Ruutu coming up with a shot. That'll go into the crowd. Easily deflected by Sylvain Lefebvre. The very steady defenseman back there for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Doesn't get a lot of mention, but doesn't make many mistakes.
Well, the Leafs have won all year, got their 99 points by playing good defense, and this series is no exception. In their wins, They won 5-1, 1 goal against. They won 1-0 twice. So here we are into the third period of the 6th game, and in the 3 games they won, they gave up 1 goal. Pretty hard to lose when you do that.
5-minute mark of the third now. Toronto's Manderville scoops the puck to center ice. Eisenbart going all the way back hard in his own zone. Roenick is on there for Chicago. That gets the crowd going a bit. But they have silenced him. Here's a knockdown in front of the net. Eisenbart couldn't find it. He knocked it down with his glove and was all alone, but couldn't find the puck to get a shot. Belfour plays it ahead. Puck loose at the line and poked to center by Eisenbart. He pulls back from a hit coming from Ella. 5.5 minutes into the third. 1-0 Toronto. Chelios back. Blackhawks trying to get something going. Looking not too bad here in the early going of the third period. Have had some scoring chances. Gilmore with Ella back of the goal. Ella played it right onto the stick of Chelios, but he couldn't control it. And Gardner is up there with 1 man back. Gardner coming in, fired the shot right to Suter. Suter got away from Clark and comes out with the puck now. Poked it ahead, Sutter shoots it in, and it's offside at the Toronto blue line. We have played 6 minutes and 11 seconds of the third period.
Well, the Leafs have stayed away from many passes in their own end up the middle. Jamie McCowan just tried one. The man he was trying to get it to was in the clear, but it was intercepted, and the Hawks nearly had their best scoring chance of the night. Here we are into the 7th minute of play. 1-1 are the shots in this period. Not much offense generated so far in a desperate situation by the Hawks.
Face off near the center ice red line. Ruutu, Amonte, and Rich Sutter. Little shifting now going on by Daryl Sutter, the Chicago coach. Desperately trying to find a way to get a goal. 1 goal. And then we'll go from there, he says. But they've been shut down by these checking Leafs. And right here, another offside at the Toronto blue line. We have an update on the Vancouver-Calgary game. Here's Ron.
Right, Bob, and from the face-off, it's Trevor Linden. I don't know if Bure touches it here. It goes back. Looks like he might have got a piece of it. For sure, Gerald Diddick just blasted by Vernon for his first goal of the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Canucks on home ice lead Calgary 1-0.
And we'll keep it posted. And don't forget, you'll see that game later on when this one is done on the CBC network.
Do you think the Dallas Stars are rubbing their hands as they're watching most of these series go at least 6?
Everybody pounding each other.
Yeah.
Suter stepping up to center. Pass behind Roenick. Berg nearly clipped him. Just missed him. In back of the goal. It'll be along the boards for Osborne. He put it ahead quickly. And Berg got to center. That's as far as he wants to go with it. Zezel over there holding it with a skate. They've reached the 7-minute mark of the third. Chelios taking another hard hit back of the goal by Berg. Here's Eisenbart. Flipping a long one in from center ice and heading off. Chicago changing again. Nothing working for him. It is 1-0 Toronto. A first period power play goal by Mike Gardner. Belfour shot at the length of the ice. Icing called against Chicago.
I use pressure-treated lumber, and I still have expensive water damage. Why?
Even treated wood needs Thompson's Water Seal waterproofer. It penetrates to protect wood, brick, and concrete from water damage. Trust Thompson's products. Canadians' first choice in lasting protection.
This deck is only 2 years old, but it looks like 10.
Bring back your old deck with Thompson's new Deck Wash. In one application, your deck's natural beauty is renewed. Trust Thompson's products. Canadians' first choice in lasting protection.
Where can you experience Old West vacation adventure? Dakota, South Dakota. There's so much to discover in 4 majestic national parks. And then awesome, towering Mount Rushmore. And Crazy Horse, monument in the making. Call 1-800-S-Dakota for your free vacation guide. Dakota, South Dakota.
Jeremy Roenick, Chelios, Suter played long shifts, minute and a half, sometimes longer. Now they can't last 30 seconds.
The Leafs poke it in for Gilmore. Brent Sutter caught him at the side of the Chicago net. Dirk Green through the middle with the pass. The Blackhawks pick it up and skate out. Suter shot it ahead. Todd Gill was back there. Up on the boards with it. Chelios stopped it, took a shot. It hit Gilmore. And he steps out to center ice. Vanderbilt brought it over the Chicago line. The Leafs are changing. Big pass to center to Brent Sutter. In his skates, he can't find it. Nothing working for Chicago. Vanderbilt upended by Suter. Puck cleared on the boards. Honeyworth reaching for it. Chelios takes it, put the pass in front of his own net. Amonte coming in on the right wing. Stopped by McCown. Everybody hitting. Monty goes to the ice. And the Leafs get the puck back inside the Chicago line. 8:20 gone in the third. The Leafs break it up again. Bird racing back. Trying to hit Osborne. He'll go in to pick it up anyway. Osborne carried out of the play. And pulling for Chicago. Shoots it to center. That won't do it. Osborne pick it up and let it fly right back in. Shot down the ice. They're going to call it icing. The crowd don't want that. It is icing against Chicago. 8 minutes, 44 seconds into the third period. 1-0 Toronto.
Well, Jamie McCown playing the dangerous Tony Amonte perfectly. Into the glass, stays with them, not worried about the puck. Finally puts him down where Amonte has no chance to do anything. Perfect defensive play by Jamie McCown.
The 65-year-old Chicago Stadium shaking a little more now, wondering if this is the swan song. Chicago trailing 1-0. Eliminated by a loss tonight to Toronto. Ruutu out of the zone with a right wing pass to Green. Shot over the line by Honeyworth and not very hard. And Toronto can't clear it. Ruutu going in against Rouse. Rouse has the puck guarded. The two players go to the ice. And the Toronto Maple Leafs get it out of the zone. Gartner poking it down the ice. Weinrich has to hurry back. Icing called. And Rouse and Ruutu are all tangled in behind the play.
Now Chicago's in a tough spot. The only line, and maybe the only, definitely the only line, and maybe the only player who could do much on the rush is Roenick. He's exhausted. The other three Hawk lines have to shoot it in and then hope to recover. And they can't get there to do the forechecking to cause the turnover. Detroit 7, San Jose 1. That goes 7 games. Saturday night in Detroit, 1-0. We saw Diddick put the Vancouver Canucks ahead early in that one.
They're up 1-0. The Leafs are up 1-0. We, though, are nearing the halfway mark of the third period. McCown to the left side. Clark let it dribble off his stick and got out. Hotman got crossed up with a hop off the glass that time. Chelios and Suter. One more time together for Chicago. High one goes into the corner. Brent Sutter trying to get in there. Lumbering along as he was skating in. Stopped at the line and bounced out. Wrapped back in. Chicago get back onside. Tired team now. Trying to catch up. Green shot. Deflected wide of the Leaf net. And it's over the glass into the crowd. The face-off is going to be inside the Leaf line to the right of Felix Potvin. We are just about at the halfway mark of the third. 9:58 into this period.
Well, the one time the Leafs didn't get it out, Dirk Graham lets it go, but it never gets to Potvin. It hits McCowan. The Hawk defensemen are going to have to start pinching. And when you pinch and the Leaf forwards can keep chipping it into the neutral zone, that 2-on-1 that could put the Chicago Stadium out of hockey.
Any minute now.
Have to occur.
The Hawks have to pull out all the stops, Harry, and they have to keep going and hoping for a break. Half a period left. 1-0 Toronto. And the Leafs keep winning these face-offs. Keep getting the puck out. This one will go high. Not high enough to get into the crowd. And that one will. Knifed away at the far side. Pat Burns will want to keep it at a slow pace like this. Daryl Sutter trying to find a way to get one.
Well, the way the Leafs have dominated at faceoffs, especially in their own zone, they don't mind if it goes for icing. They're not concerned if it goes out of the rink and a faceoff is called. Zezel, the best perhaps on the team, will start taking many of the draws I think you're going to see, even though he might not be out with his line all the time.
This is a switch tonight. In Game 5, Toronto had 37 shots. Tonight they had 15 shots, but they had the only goal. Chicago has had 25, and listen to the crowd go again. They haven't given up. Pass just outside the line, stopped by Amonte. Murphy slowed down by Rouse as he went by him. Chelios is going to stop it over there. Fired at the net. Amonte is tied up. The Leafs get it out over the line. And it was brought back in, and that's offside. Didn't come out by much. But it was out.
Well, Sutter knows his troops are tiring and the clock isn't. Two enemies of the Chicago Blackhawks at the moment. Get those Leaf wingers right out on Chelios and Suter, so the defensemen know they can shoot it around the boards on either side. And the worst thing that can happen is the puck sits between the feet of the Leaf winger and the Hawk defenseman.
9 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the third period. Gartner's goal back in the first on a Leaf power play. The only scoring play of the game. And Toronto wonders, is it enough? Looking bigger all the time, tell you that. The Leafs are changing. Chicago coming out. Weinrich, no sir, can't get by Clark. Carney flipped it back at the net. Clark is in to pick it up. Here's Gartner around the goal with it. Gartner going back to Ellett. Ellett will just shoot it to the corner. Hart missed it, and it comes off the boards to Dubinsky. Leafs fired ahead again. Kearney lifts a high one inside the Leaf line. Gill racing back there. Bumped by Rich Sutter, who fell. Gill is allowed to move away, but can't get it out. Brent Sutter into the shot. Right on. And Potvin was in the right spot to grab that shot from Sutter.
Todd Gill wouldn't go up the boards. No, he wanted to go up the middle. And look what happens. You have to believe that your wingers are on the boards, and that's where you're putting the puck. I know the guy's in the clear in the middle of the rink sometimes, but with 8 minutes and 40 seconds to go, and you got a chance to put the Hawks in the coffin, don't go up the middle.
There's Sutter, gets a decent shot away. Potvin had the angle. He was out a bit, as you see, to the top of the crease.
Here's the play right here. Look at how wide open the boards are. The winger's right on the Hawk defenseman, Chelios. Put it up to those two guys and hope your winger's better than their defenseman at fielding those pucks. If he isn't, you can talk to him. If you don't give it to him, somebody's going to talk to you.
Rich Sutter trying to get his troops going. His teammates. That clock keeps going against them. 8:40 left in the third. Jamie McCann, I believe, over to get a new stick. Yes. And a breather. 1-0 Toronto. Game 6. The Leafs leading the series 3-2. And here's Zazzle in on the faceoff against Brent Sutter. Sutter won it this time, but he got it back too quickly, and Suter couldn't play it. Suter's pass to Chelios. Suter again. Over to Graham. He knifed it in by Ellett, but Rouse got back. Rouse put it on the boards. And again, that got high over that low glass here at the Chicago Stadium. The faceoff will be back in the lead zone.
Is this your average wave? Is this your average beer? Molson Special Dry with the original dry brew taste. Now with a special new look. The next step in the evolution of beer. Molson Special Dry. It just could be the best beer ever brewed. Anytime, anywhere. Catch one.
There's more to broadleaf herbicides than crop safety and wild buckwheat control. That's why there's Refine Extra. Refine Extra has a wider window of application, and it gets the toughest broadleaf weeds in wheat and barley, including wild buckwheat and Canada thistle. Refine Extra. A knock-'em-dead performance no broadleaf herbicide can match.
The PA announcer here at the Chicago Stadium just gave the out-of-town scores. Detroit 7-1 over San Jose. Vancouver leading Calgary 1-0. And that's the quietest time I've heard the Chicago Stadium. They don't give a hoot about anything but this hockey game, as their Blackhawks are now 1-0. Toronto leading with 8:21 left in the third period. Jeremy Roenick, the big hope for Chicago, gets the faceoff, gets away from Zazzle, gets the shot, it's deflected wide. The count over there with Manderville, Cunningworth in on the boards against Manderville. The puck is trapped there along the boards, he holds it, it's kicked loose by Cunningworth, he falls on it, and Manderville gets rid of a few more seconds, and another face-off in the Leaf zone.
You can see Peter Zazzle. He's out here almost every defensive zone face-off. This is not his line. He's out here with Pearson and Manderville. And I think you'll see him take every defensive zone face-off for the rest of the game.
8:04 left in the third period. And unless Chicago can score, it'll be 8:04 left, of course, in the rest of the game.
Andy Van Helleman won't let Manderville go and change his stick. He made him bring it over and show him the crack. I guess there wasn't one, so Manderville has to stay out there.
Zazzle won it this time, and Lefebvre takes it out of harm's way, back to the net. Drilled it on the boards and got it ahead, and Pearson was checked by Chelios. Couldn't move on it. Suter around the goal. Manderville chasing him. Catching him over there, and the Leafs are on it. Gilmore is to the corner, centering it. And the Blackhawks are going to bring it out, but Gilmore got back to hook it away from Chelios. Chelios stopping it. Manderville poked it on the boards. They fight for it there with 7:30 remaining in the third. Gary Suter on a solo rush. Turns and goes to the Chicago bench. Lefebvre through the middle with that pass. That's clear all the way down the ice. Carney in front of Belfour. Gilmore giving chase. It is shot in wide of the Leaf net. There goes Poulin. He's covered. It is centered. Eisenbar couldn't get a good shot away, but he was open for one. Todd Gill to center. Shoots it in. 6:50 remaining in the third. Here's a giveaway, but Gartner can't handle it. Rutu shot it to center. Poulin put it in on the net. Puckman is going to slow the play. 6 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the third period.
Don't play around with high prices. Come to Canadian Tire, your summer sports headquarters, and save on a huge selection of top-name sports equipment.
Pat Burns knows that the Chicago players might be now thinking about summer sports equipment. They are 6:42 away from winning the hockey game and the series. Daryl Sutter making a few more changes. Roenick is coming off.
Well, when you're winning as many draws as the Leafs are, what do you care where the ice is? Felix Potvin has held the puck more tonight than he does most nights. That shows the confidence he has in defensive zone faceoffs. The wingers doing a good job making sure they control the boards most of the time. And the Hawks are having an awful time getting any kind of good chance to score.
So it's another close one between Toronto and Chicago. Just under 7 minutes left in the third period. 1-0 Toronto. From the blue line, Weinrich's shot. Hit Rich Sutter, who was decked and missed the net. Weinrich kept it in. A good setup by him. Shot stopped by Potvin. Yzerman unloading one at Potvin. And he made the save. The Leafs are changing again. The Blackhawks get it up to center. And it's broken up by Toronto. Clark lost it, though. Yzerman forechecking Rouse. Out to Gardner. Gardner to Clark. In over the line with Gilmore going for the net. The pass and behind him. Chelios turning. Put it up to center ice. And it's Clark back to Rouse. 6 minutes left in the third. His long shot blocked by Belfour. Here's Gardner again. Shoots. Belfour save. Big stop by Belfour. Might give Chicago a lift. Roenick is on the ice and he's on the puck. Into the corner to the left of Potvin. Murphy comes out, gets to the net, and lost it. Suter drives. That was blocked. Suter kept it in, got it away from Gilmore, back of the net, and it's centered again. Gilmore, no stick. Whipped it ahead with the pass. Clark has it. Put it up to center ice. Clark on the puck. Grabbed from behind by Murphy, and the Chicago players now come out. 5:10 remaining in the third. Good forechecking by Pearson. It is shot in. Belfour stopped it. 5 minutes left in the third period. Belfour allowed 1 goal in the last game and lost it. He's allowed 1 in this game and is in danger of losing the season. 1-0 Maple Leafs. 4:40 left in the third. Chicago desperately trying to get it going. Cunningworth can't do much with it. The Leafs persist in that checking style. Nobody left to move for a second. Not alone anyway. Cunningworth, left wing pass. The defenseman Kearney won't get there. The Leafs do. It's shut down the ice. Belfour out for Weinrich. Cunningworth turns with 4:10 left in the third. Brent Sutter through center. That's broken up. The Leafs own the territory between the two blue lines now, with exactly 4 minutes remaining in the third. Here's Brent Sutter coming in. Hard hit on him by McCown. The puck loose. It comes to Yzerman. He just backhands it off the boards, and Yzerman gets it again and misses it. And the Leafs dump it out to center ice. 3:40 remaining in the third. Chelios with Suter again. Gilmore played it back in deep. 3:35 to go. Roenick trying to pump it up, but he doesn't get the pass. The Leafs checking very closely. Roenick stopped at his own blue line. Murphy to Chelios. The veteran is in there. Got it to Amonte. His shot, a weak one wide. Toronto moving back out, protecting that 1-goal lead, and they shoot it in. Belfour stopped it for Chelios. All right, folks, 3 minutes left in regulation time. 1-0 Toronto. Chicago shooting it in. That's an icing call against the Blackhawks. He failed to take that extra step.
This is your standard living room. Seating for 8 with all the comforts of home. Our living room also has seating for 8 with all the comforts of home. The only difference is, ours comes with a 4.3-liter V6 engine, standard 4-wheel anti-lock brakes, a driver's side facial airbag, and the most towing capacity in its class. Introducing the 1994 GMC Safari.
In an ongoing research project to determine the ultimate beverage, I'm isolating superstar model Cindy Crawford in a Pepsi deprivation chamber.
I'll do anything for science.
We're allowing Cindy a wide range of beverages, but not a single solitary drop of Pepsi. You're here. You'll be all right. Cindy, how do you feel?
I don't know about you guys, but I'm dying for a Pepsi.
Conclusive scientific proof. Pepsi is the ultimate beverage.
Back in Chicago at Vancouver, the final 2 seconds of the first period. That's Theron Fleury's shot. Gary Roberts in front will redirect it with 0.3 left on the score clock. You see it hit the top of the net, and so it's 1-1 at the end of one at Vancouver.
And let me tell you, here in Chicago, they're all standing with 2:54 remaining. And you know about the roar here in this whole building. They had a tremendous roar at the start of the hockey game. And they're going to do that again for the Chicago Blackhawks. Maybe, just maybe, they can pump them up to get one. 2:45 left in the third period. Toronto Maple Leafs 1. Chicago Blackhawks no score. Kirk Breen, the captain. The pass out to Roenick. Roenick lost it. And the Leafs move down. Pearson is going to get a shot. Belfour the save. Chelios back. 2:25 remaining. Chicago up the center and offside is Cunningham. He turned at center ice and his 2 skates are on the other side. So it'll come back inside the Chicago line. 2 minutes and 22 seconds left in the third period. Toronto leads 1-0.
Well, Bob, the Chicago Stadium over the years, and this could be the last hockey game, and it have been blessed with tremendous fans. And they are going to miss this rink even more than you and I who come in here 3, 4, 5 times a year. It must be a thrill to play hockey for the Chicago Blackhawks in the Chicago Stadium when you've got fans like this who know they may be 2 minutes and 22 seconds away from extinction, and they will not stop cheering for their Hawks.
They're getting set to get up, I think, for whatever is remaining in this third period. Sure, they want a goal. They haven't been able to get one. Clark came in. Gartner was with him. The Blackhawks are on it. Up the center and dropping the pass. Shot. Oh, a very weak one. It is centered in the crease. And Potvin had it with Murphy right in there on top of Potvin. And the lead players now are giving Murphy a rough ride.
I'll tell you one thing, Andy Van Hellemond is one referee who will not hesitate to call a late penalty. And you can't be worried about trying to get an extra punch in because somebody got close to your goalie. You got to be bigger than that. He's going to give double penalties here. McCowan and Murphy.
And hello to you people who have been watching the first period. Calgary at Vancouver. And a 1-1 tie out there. This is Bob Cole at the Chicago Stadium. Alongside is Harry Neal. We have 1 minute and 57 seconds remaining in regulation time. And Darryl Sutter knows time is running out. The only goal of the game came at 14:49 of the first period on a Leaf power play. Gartner standing in front of the net, tipped in a Dave Ellett shot. Mironov also drew an assist. Now the shots in the game, the Blackhawks out shooting Toronto in the first 13-6, in the second 11-8, and here in the third it's 4-3 Toronto. We have a pair of penalties handed out here, and 1:57 remaining in regulation time. and a dog tired, I think, Harry's Chicago team. Boy, it's been a hard battle. They didn't score in Game 5 at Toronto and unable to get one here tonight. The total shots 27-18 in favor of Chicago, but that's been the story. Felix Potvin and the checking of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, Felix is gone now. 63 seconds short of 120 minutes, not giving a goal up. Superb goaltending. Potvin and Belfour have put a goaltending clinic on.
The Chicago players on the ice, they're 4-on-4 now with the 2 penalties handed out here, minor penalties. 1:57 remaining. Chicago have Roenick and Amati, Suter and Chelios. The Leafs have Zezel. On the face-off, got the draw. Rouse against Roenick. Here's Amati around the net. Tries to shake by Lefebvre. He's given a bump by Lefebvre, and Berg gets it off the boards and out. 1:40 remaining. Suter forced to go all the way back by Peter Zezel. 1-0 Toronto. Here's Suter. And now Amati. Backhands it in. Down the net for Potvin to stop it. Suter can't stop it. It'll slide down to Belfour. 1:24 left. Chelios. He slams it in. There's Potvin out of the net. And here comes Belfour out of the net. The net is empty down there. Belfour is on the bench. The Blackhawks have the extra man, so they're pulling out all the stops now. It went over the boards at the Leaf bench and hit a player. And the face-off will be back inside the Toronto blue line because it was a Leaf player who shot it over the boards at the Leaf bench. 1:05 remaining in the third period.
That's a big break for the Hawks because the Leafs had control of the puck and were going to get it at least into the neutral zone. But it went by the bench in far enough that it hit a Leaf player and came back out. That's like shooting it over the glass in your own end. There will be a face-off with 1:05 to go in the Leaf zone. The Leafs won, the Hawks nothing. And the Hawks are 1:05 or less away if they don't score from calling it a season.
Well, a timeout has been called by Darryl Sutter of the Chicago Blackhawks. And, of course, Pat Burns will look over his troops. He wants the best defensive unit out there, and he'll get them with 1:05 left in the third period. Toronto, imagine, 1 goal in the last game, and now 1 goal in this game. Gartner got it on a Leaf power play at 14:49 of the first period when Toronto got the first 2 penalties, and Chicago were stymied by the Leaf penalty killers twice.
Well, the Leafs now have discussed completely how to line up on this face-off. It's like killing a penalty. There are going to be 5 Hawk skaters. The Leafs can't ice it, though, because the goaltender is out to give the Hawks the extra man.
Back in the first period, Clark early at 3:07 got an elbowing minor penalty. He was out of the box, not very long, and at 5:25 he was back in again for slashing. But I think that set the tone for the game. Chicago couldn't do anything on the power play, and the Leafs slowly took charge and are leading 1-0 with 1:05 left in the third period. And this could be forever in this great old building. Unless Chicago can get a goal. We're in the final minute. Chelios shoots one in. The net empty down at the other end. Chicago trying to pick it up inside the Leaf line. 46 seconds remaining. Amati banging at it there on the boards. Amati centered it. That'll be knife tie over the glass by Zezel. And another face-off coming up inside the Leaf line. They've worn that clock down another bit, though. 39.2 seconds remaining now.
Oh, Bill Burke made a great decision out there. He knows that you're down a man. He wouldn't get sucked into going over and getting tangled up with the 2 Hawks that were battling the 1 Leaf and maybe knocked down, and the puck squirts out to an odd man situation. He stayed 10 feet away where he was able to get to the front of the net if he had to.
Zezel and Berg will try to shut the door along with Lefebvre and Ellen. The Blackhawks had Brent Sutter to take the faceoff. Roenick is to his left. Amonte to his right. Chelios and Suter, the blue liners. Suter can't stop it. It's shot down the ice. It'll be icing. So Chelios wastes no time getting back. And the clock stops at 29.5 seconds remaining. And yet another face-off inside the Leaf line to the left of Felix Potvin.
Now the center, when you're playing 4 men against 5, the center has to go to the point after the draw. The defenseman has to make sure the opposing center doesn't go to the net by himself on a lost draw.
Chicago has had 27 shots in the hockey game. Toronto has had 18. Potvin perfect. Belfour nearly perfect. He's on the bench now in favor of the extra attacker. 26 seconds left. That's all. Suter. Will he shoot it? Will he shoot it? When will he shoot it? There it goes. It's intercepted and knocked to center. 15 seconds left. Chelios drives it in. Potvin stopping it. 9 seconds. Chicago get the puck. There's a shot through the crease. Stopped at the line by Chelios. Another shot. Knocked down in front. And this game is over. And the Toronto Maple Leafs get 1 goal in the first period on a power play. And together with Potvin, who made 27 saves, make that 1 goal stand up. And that's the end for the Chicago Blackhawks in these Stanley Cup playoffs. And that's the end of hockey in this great old building. And the crowd now on its feet, and I'm sure they're not only saying goodbye to the Blackhawks, they're saying goodbye to a great piece of history here in Chicago. The old stadium is done. So are the Hawks. 1-0, Toronto.
Well, the Leafs played a strong defensive game. Chicago got 4 shots on goal, 1 good scoring chance in the 3rd period. They had no energy to generate any offense.
Ron McLean is with Pat Burns, the victorious coach. Ron.
Thank you, Bob. Pat, congratulations. That was a tough one to watch. How about for you?
I was getting kind of tight there at the end there. I got to change my shirt pretty soon.
Your defensive effort, 3 shutouts for Felix. Who pleased you the most?
I think Felix did, definitely, but Gilmore showed a lot of character playing tonight. I know it was hurting a bit, but he really showed a lot of character.
Defensively, you went a lot with, I saw Ellett was on the ice at the end with Sylvain Lefebvre. Those two really impressed. I think there's Chris Chelios. He's something, isn't he?
Yeah, he sure is.
You didn't win in 6 last year once. I'm sure that must have been part of your prep tonight to try and get the guys to realize the importance of a rest.
Well, we did, and that's very important because we needed some rest, and we just want to get it done. It's a great building, but I'm glad it's over. I don't want to play these guys anymore.
8 straight, that was enough, and 5 1-goal wins. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Felix, right over here. Sure. Get my cameraman to show you. Congratulations. How's it feel?
Well, it felt great coming back here and win a 1-0 game after having lost those 2 games. 5-4 and 4-3. That's a great feeling to get a shutout here.
I don't know how you do it. I watched that mayhem in the last 5 seconds, and you thought it was out. It wasn't even out of the zone. Who do you want to thank on your team who helped you get these 3 shutouts?
Well, the last 2 games, every line did an outstanding job defensively, and especially our defensemen did an unbelievable job to clear the zone. I think the last 6 minutes of the game, I didn't have to face any shots, so it's a great team win.
Well, you got a nice weekend with your new daughter, so congratulations on a brilliant individual performance, and good luck in the next round.
Thanks a lot.
Felix Potvin, the star goaltender. Here's Wendell. Congratulations, Wendell. You went out like the bull terrier you are. Tell me your feelings on the victory.
Well, it's just a big one. We didn't want to go back home. You never know what happens in a 7th game, and everybody pulled out the stops on our team here tonight and did what they had to do to win.
I know the last game of the regular season wasn't so meaningful, but you really came into this rink yourself personally and the team and set a nice tone. Listen to the roar going on here. They're saying goodbye to the building. It's a pretty special night to win for you, but I felt tonight you were the same way. In the first 5 minutes as captain, you came out to say, we have to set the tone instead of them coming to us.
Well, I hadn't been as physical in the first couple games here, and everything was on the line. So if we can come out, and it's too bad I got a couple penalties early. The guys killed the penalties off, but just to try to set the tone, and we didn't want to get them to get the jump like the last 2 games here, 2-3 goals early. If we come out and tied or winning after the first period, we knew we'd had a shot.
Both teams looked like they were tired, and why wouldn't they be? 8 straight meetings between 2 bitter rivals. How are you holding up, and how important was it to get that break that you didn't get last year by not winning a Game 6?
Well, I think this is going to help out a lot. We got a few guys with some bumps and bruises like any series, but at least there's a couple, 3 extra days now where guys can rest and prepare for the next series.
Well done.
Thanks a lot, Ron.
Leaf captain Wendell Clark. Well, as you see here at the stadium, they'll probably be here till Saturday anyhow. What will this rink be remembered for? How will they remember the Roar? Is it because it's Roy Rogers proposing to Dale Evans here in this building before a rodeo? Is it because the Chicago Bears won an NFL title in this building? Is it for Michael Jordan, or that Scottie Pipkin's not too bad? Is it for Stan Mikita or Bobby Hull or Mr. Goalie or Tony O? They once measured it at 130 decibels during the 1989 playoffs. Is it for Wayne Mesmer or Frank Pellico or Harvey Wittenberg? Voices that have run throughout these rafters. You know they're going to tear down this building next year when the Hawks move into the United Center. They'll blow it apart, and they're going to put a parking lot here. I hope the fans remember to wash their car when they come to the games next year. Some pretty special 4 walls that'll be beneath those 4 wheels. Remember the Roar. The Molson 3 stars in tonight's 1-0 victory for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Felix Potvin was the #1 star. Sylvain Lefebvre was the #2 star. And Dirk Graham, the grit of the Chicago Blackhawks, was the 3rd star tonight. 1-0. The Leafs win the series in 6, and they do it at historic Chicago Stadium. Tomorrow night we'll be on the air from Boston. Up next, we'll take you to Vancouver, except in Manitoba, where it's primetime news following immediately. Thanks for watching this evening. From all of us, good night.
Tied for the lead. Bobby Nichols' 3rd shot at 18.
Now he's laid up so close to the green. I think we'll see him play a low bump and run type shot. We see it landing short. Oh, what a well played shot.
Get in. Here's Frank.
You know, Arnold, I know today was disappointing for you, but I don't want to talk about your golf for the last 40 years or even today. As a player, I just want to thank you for the standards you've set, for your ethical conduct and the way you've lived your life and what you've meant to all of us. It's meant so much to us.
Well, thank you, Frank. That's very nice. As far as my golf is concerned, I'm pretty disappointed right now. I felt like I've been getting off to a poor start in these early rounds, and I thought today, well, I'll really work on getting a good start early in the round, and I started birdie, and then I finished the way I usually start.
Well, what happens now? Let's just, I mean, we won't go back 30 years, but what happened? Why can't you finish the round?
Well, that's a good question. I felt pretty good. I feel pretty good about my game right now.
Well, we hope you have it better over the weekend.
Thank you.
If you could put a 4th face on Mount Rushmore, that one would get most of the votes. Cadillac and your local Cadillac dealer has proudly presented the Senior PGA Tour. The Cadillac Series continues tomorrow. 2nd round live coverage at 2 o'clock. The finale on Sunday at 1 o'clock. Eastern Time, where right now Butch Baird and Bobby Nichols are tied for the lead, but Bobby's got only a 4-foot birdie putt for a round of 765 after the first round. But lots of golfers in the hunt, including Dale Douglas. He's been close a couple of times. Jim Colbert's been a runner-up a couple of times. He's within 2. Ray Floyd and Lee Trevino in with 270s. Gary Koch, they're all in the game.
Well, they certainly are, Jim. We saw a bunch of good scores today. I think that's a testimony to the condition of this TPC at Piper Glen. The zoysia grass fairway is absolutely perfect. The green's smooth and not too quick.
For Frank Beard, Andy North, Gary Koch, and all our ESPN golf team, we'll see you at 2 o'clock Eastern Time on Saturday. So long, everybody.
You're watching TSN, the sports network, coast to coast.
Hello, I'm James Earl Jones. 30 years ago, a brash young boxer, an Olympic hero with blazing hands and a brazen tongue, burst upon the national consciousness. He said he was the greatest, spouting poetry and making predictions about the round in which his opponents would fall. He then went into the ring and backed up his boasts time and time again. Cassius Marcellus Clay, the boxer from Louisville, Kentucky, transformed himself into Muhammad Ali, ambassador to the world. As America struggled in the 60s to come to grips with issues of religious and civil rights and a war that was dividing the country, Muhammad Ali became a symbol of courage, of conscience, and of freedom. In the ring, his was a never-before-seen combination of power and grace, blinding hand speed, flashing feet, and a toughness that belied his prettiness. Outside the ring, he was a mass of contradictions, at the same time bombastic and introspective, infuriating and ingratiating, full of conviction and eventually convicted of refusing induction into the army. He is, one may argue, the most important athletic figure of the 20th century and perhaps the most recognizable man on the planet. Indeed, on my first trip to Morocco in the year 1977, from the young street toughs I would encounter, "Hey, you, American, whatever your name is, do you know Muhammad Ali?" For the next hour, we will give you a rare and exclusive glimpse into the life of Muhammad Ali at home, Muhammad Ali around the world, Muhammad Ali today. Please join us for Outside the Lines, Muhammad Ali, still the greatest.
Muhammad Ali may be the most widely recognized athlete in the world.
He defied the government, he defied white folks, he defied black folks, he defied everything.
He was the first man that I could ever say I loved without feeling strange saying it.
First guy I ever saw who really said to a guy, "Am I pretty or what?"
This is the greatest of all champions, Muhammad Ali.
The whole world will have to bear witness that Muhammad Ali is the greatest of all time.
Outside the Lines is a presentation of Dollar Rent-A-Car. Right on the airport, right on the money.
Why you bet your money? No problem. Really, Bo? I'm gonna come back. Holyfield, whoop all of you.
Myth number 1. Muhammad Ali is very ill.
I guess the most important thing to understand about Muhammad's health is that it's not as bad as many people believe it to be. Muhammad suffers from something known as Parkinson's syndrome, which is a series of symptoms: the slurred speech, the facial mask, the tremor in his right hand. And Parkinson's syndrome has a number of different causes. The most common cause is Parkinson's disease, which eats away at the cells in the brain stem that produce a chemical called dopamine. Now, Muhammad does not have Parkinson's disease. In his case, the cells in the brain stem were destroyed by repeated blows to the head.
He's sick. He knows he's sick. He knows he stayed on too long. He paid the price, and he's sick.
But don't feel sorry for him because he has adjusted to that sickness. It doesn't bother him particularly. I mean, he's not one of those guys that sits around and says, boy, if I hadn't had this, I could do that, I could do that. He does what he's doing now. And that is, he's America's guest. He's the world's guest, because they want him all over the world to come. They don't care if he can't talk like he used to. They don't care if his hand is palsied and shakes. It's Muhammad Ali.
There are no intellectual deficits. In other words, he thinks as clearly as he always did. It's a motor skills problem that affects his speech. But Muhammad can do all the things in everyday life that you or I do.
He did not speak like he used to. But when Ali is excited about something, you know, Ali can say anything you want.
The greatest of all time is making a comeback. It's going to shock the whole world. Being 51 years old, off 10 years, it would shake the world. Muhammad Ali comes back, shakes the whole world, fights 2 men in one night. Still the king, still pretty. Can you believe he's coming back, 51 years old, and dancing, shocking the world?
Myth number 2, Ali is slowing down. Ali spends more than half the year on the road making personal appearances and religious pilgrimages. And he's maintained that grueling schedule since he retired in 1981. And so if on occasion he looks and sounds run down, there's a perfectly good reason.
There are times when I think he must be perpetually jet-lagged. I am a healthy man in my 40s. I have traveled with Muhammad. And after a couple of days on the schedule he's on, I just can't keep up with him. I am exhausted. And people see Muhammad at a fight, and he might look awful on that particular night. But then you say, well, wait a minute. 2 days ago, he flew for 24 hours to come back from Indonesia.
There is a sense of pity and sorrow from some who see Ali only at a distance, see only his outer shell, the slow walk, the shaking hands, and the slurred speech.
This woman, who must have been in her late 40s, came up to him, and he sort of just looked up and nodded and shook her hand sort of limply, and she burst into tears as she walked away. And you could tell that she was crying for him. And I called her back, and I said, excuse me, ma'am, you know, come back for a minute. And I said to Muhammad, this woman is upset because she doesn't even think you can talk. And he got up, and he kissed her on the cheek, and he said to her, don't worry about me. I'm having a good time. I'm feeling good. Life is good to me.
The people that know him, I don't think they feel sorry for him because he still has his wit, and he still has his dignity, and he's functioning. But when people that don't know him see him, they see the outer manifestation of that disease, and that's all they see.
The people who like him, who know him, who care about him, you know, wish that he had the same verbal capacity, that he had the same motion capacity that he once had, just as you would want anybody you knew and liked to have it, particularly someone who used it so well as he did. He still, without a word now, lights up a room when he walks in.
Myth 3, Ali is broke. In his 21-year boxing career, Muhammad Ali grossed upwards of $60 million, but a third of that went to the government.